Most universities will be on a break from now until somewhere January 5th. So if you're working on your university applications, especially to the US institutions, you will be able to send emails and all that, but do not expect that universities will respond very quickly. But from 5th onwards, most of the offices would start working, and so they will start responding to your emails. Welcome. This is another episode of the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. We come your way this and every Saturday when it is 5:30 GMT. If you are watching us in Nigeria, it might be 6:30 GMT. Depending on which part of the world you're watching us from, you're welcome. This is the biggest Study Abroad content platform, and our intentions are simple. We bring individuals who have been through the study abroad process that you want to go through, and so that they share the experience, their journey, how they were able to do it, the challenges they faced, and how you can overcome those challenges, making it easier if you want to study abroad. Every week, remember, we'll give you universities that will be waiving the application fee. The intentions are simple. Sometimes some application fees are expensive, and so it sort of hinders people's ability to work on their study abroad applications. These charges are sometimes in dollars, and you require a MasterCard or Visa card, or maybe sometimes PayPal, credit card that you do not have. So a typical example, when I was working on my process, I was able to apply to only one university. The reason was that my national service allowance of 559 for a month is what I used to pay one application fee. So imagine. So when we give you some of these universities and show you how you can get application fee waived, it makes your process easier comparatively. So today we are sharing three different universities. Take a pen and a paper. If you're watching us, be typing the names of the universities in the comment section. Remember, when you share, you like, and then you comment, you automatically join the draw. At the end of the session, we select one person who the team is going to assist to go to work on your study abroad process. So make sure you participate. Let us know where you're watching us from. What is the time at your current location? It's currently 12:36. I'm currently in Georgia State University in Atlanta. That's where I'm streaming from today. So let's start with the first university. The first university I'm going to share with you today is located in Ohio, and the name of the university is called University of Dayton. It's a private Catholic university located in a city called Dayton, Dayton. And if you're watching, let's help ourselves. Type the name of the university in the comment section. And when you go to the application fee section, they tell you that submit the free UD application. UD is University of Dayton, and required materials for your desired start term. So the catchphrase here is that to apply, submit the free UD application. So the application and this website is the Graduate International Admissions. So if you're an international applicant, this is the website you have to visit to know about how to apply to the school. So you can apply for the bachelor's level, the master's level, and they have doctoral programs. In fact, I have a couple of friends in this university. You have to understand that University of Dayton, which is located in Ohio, requires transcript evaluation for master's application. So if you want to apply, remember that you have to evaluate your transcript. So the application is free. You don't have to attend an info section. You don't have to get a waiver for it and all that. So you have to just submit it for free. And you have a lot of programs. And the good thing is that this university is located in Ohio. Ohio is one of the cool places you want to apply to. Dayton is closer to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a huge city. So in Dayton as a city, they have University of Dayton. They also have Wright State University. If you've heard about Wright State, that's where it is also located. They also have Central State University, and they even have a community college called St. Clair Community College. So in the city of Dayton, they have all these amazing institutions. So even if you're not interested in University of Dayton with all the amazing programs and how you can apply for free, Wright State is there. They also have Central State University as well in Dayton, and they have a community college called St. Clair Community College, which I have a couple of friends there as well. So yeah, for today, we are starting with University of Dayton. Let's move on to the next university. And like I said, they have a lot of programs. So if you go to the academic session and you want to go through all their programs, They are here as well. So they have accounting, actuarial science, aerospace, electronic systems, art history. They have biology, business administration, Chinese, communication, public relations, creative writing, dietetics. There are a lot of programs, economics, educational leadership. They also have health sciences programs as well. Let's move on to the next one. So I'll stop sharing this real quick. And please type the name of the universities in the comment section so that other people can know about this, because sometimes the spelling is even challenging for some people. So let's help ourselves in that order. All right. So let's go with the second university. The second university, so from Ohio, Ohio shares borders with a state called Pennsylvania. The capital of Pennsylvania is Philadelphia. That's the capital of Pennsylvania. And the university we are sharing here is called the Commonwealth University of Bloomsburg. So Bloomsburg is Bloomsburg. So that this is for undergraduate applications. And they posted this on their Facebook. So that's why I keep on saying that social media now is where you can find most of the universities and then the scholarships and all that. Every university have a social media platform. Try and follow them. So I found this on the Facebook platform for the Commonwealth University of Bloomsburg. So Commonwealth University Bloomsburg, and they said happy holidays from Huskies. This holiday season, we are celebrating your bright future. As you reflect on this past year and look ahead to your journey to college, we want to make it easier to take the step. From December 19th through to January 4th. So today is December 27th, and the deadline is January 4th. We are waiving the $35 application fee for all new fall 2026 undergraduate applicants. So fall 2026 starts in August and September. So the application starts from now. So they said you should consider this as a gift as you prepare for an exciting journey ahead. So Bloomsburg University, and I want you to type a Commonwealth University, Bloomsburg. So Commonwealth University, and then the city is called Bloomsburg. Recently, I drove through Bloomsburg, took a lot of pictures. I'll be sharing them as well. So Pennsylvania, that's where this university is located. And remember, the first one I shared, which is University of Dayton, is for undergrad, masters, and PhD. But this one is only for undergraduate application. So if you have a high school qualification, if you have a diploma qualification, check out Commonwealth University Bloomsburg. And apart from that, Pennsylvania is one of the states that has a lot of universities. You can check them out as well. Let's move on to the next university. This one, you probably might not have heard about this university. And that's the good thing about the podcast, that sometimes some universities, you might probably not have heard about them. So, thank you for typing the name, but please don't get it wrong so that you don't. So Bloomsburg is Bloomburg, not Bury. So please correct that so that people don't make mistakes. The next university I'm sharing is called Stony Brook University. And this one is for a specific department. Stony Brook University is located in a city called Stony Brook in the state called New York. So New York is a city, and then the state is also called New York. So, for example, if you come to Ghana, we have Greater Accra, but Accra is located in Greater Accra. So that don't let it confuse you. There is a city called New York located in a state called New York, and then Stony Brook is also a city called New York, just like you have maybe Tema in Greater Accra region, Kaswa in Central region. That's how it is. So Stony Brook is a city, the state is New York, all in the United States. So this one is a PhD for a specific department, and then the department is called Department of Geosciences. So the application fee is available for the Geosciences PhD program, both domestic and international. So if you're applying, you're an international applicant. Remember, the deadline is December 31st. Today is December 27th. And then you can request for the waiver. So when you click on the link, it takes you to this website where you can request for the waiver. So this is what you're going to see if you want to request for the waiver. And I'm showing you step by step. So if you type in the information required, so your email, your first and last name, brief description, and all that, you upload your transcript, your CV, and then you request for the waiver. So this is called Stony Brook University. It's located in a state called New York. So, but they have a lot of other programs that you can check out as well. So Stony Brook is STONY, then ROOK, then you add university to it. And this is a specific department. Please pay attention. It's the College of Arts and Sciences and the Department of Geosciences, and specifically for their PhD programs. But if you should visit their website, it's a good university. You can check out most of their programs for undergraduate and masters. But remember, this may require that you pay, an application fee as well. All right. So let's see if we can go through some of their programs. If it's graduate programs, there are a lot of them here if you check them out. And then undergraduate too, they have a lot of programs. It's called Stony Brook University. It's part of what we call the State University of New York system. So when it comes to the State University of New York, there are a lot of campuses in it, depending on the state, the city you are choosing. So, for example, State University of New York, Albany, it means that the city of Albany, that's where the university is located. All right, so that's all for today. Next week we'll come your way with another, a list of universities you can apply for free. So remember, if you're just joining us, every week we share universities that you can apply for free, so that we take the burden of, financial burden of application fees from you if you want to study abroad. All right, so my co-host has always been Ben. Let me bring Ben on and we get started. Hi, Ben, how you doing?
Yeah, Fred, I'm doing good, and you?
Great, I'm okay. If you can take it from there.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the opportunity. And a big Merry Christmas to all our viewers today. In fact, we thank God for leading us through the year successfully, and today happens to be our last podcast for the year. So I'm sure you are ready. Expect much, because today I'm sure our guest will really give us all the information that we need to be successful in our application next year. So thank you for always tuning in live to join us. Please make sure that, as usual, you share the link, so those who are in Sankore, Bolibamboy, Tra, they may all have access to the valuable insight that you are going to experience today. In fact, today's podcast is going to be one of the best, and I'm so happy you've joined as early as possible. So Merry Christmas once again, and we are starting very soon. Okay, so let me add our guest to the stage. All right, Ima, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Can you?
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Unfortunately, I do not celebrate Christmas.
Hey, are you an Adventist?
No, it's not important for this conversation. So yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, our guest today is not celebrating Christmas, but those of us who celebrate will keep on celebrating. Okay, Ima, you are welcome to the Biggest Study Abroad podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So how's the state?
It's been okay. We are just experiencing a couple of snow for a couple of days, so we are indoors. But apart from that, everything is okay.
Is it your first snow?
No, this is definitely not.
Okay. So how's the feeling?
It's always nice to see it snow, but it gets messier. So yeah, we enjoy it for the first few days, and then it gets messier, and you can't drive, and it's become very dirty. But yeah, it's always like you can be in the snow for 30 years, and you always enjoy it when it falls. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. So it has its own experience anytime it falls.
It does. It does.
Oh, okay. Yes. So, Ima, welcome once again, and thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you once again for having me.
As usual, what we want to do is that we want to learn from you the challenges, the difficulties that you've gone through, and then the successes, so that those of us who wants to also join you, the process will be relatively easier. So we will bear with you that don't hide any hint that we need to know. I hope you're ready for us.
I am really ready and I'm excited for this session.
All right, thank you once again. So quickly, who is Emmanuel Enin?
Okay, Emmanuel Lenin is a young man. And for the purpose of this particular section, I will limit it to education. I had my undergraduate education from the University of Education, Winneba, where I graduated with a Bachelor of Degree in History and Political Science. I then moved on to University, Western Illinois University in Illinois, Macomb to be specific. Then after I moved to Princeton University, where I am currently in my third year reading history as a PhD program. So I'm a candidate now.
So you are done with your master's in Western Illinois and you are now at Princeton doing your PhD.
Yeah, I'm in my third year at Princeton.
Wow, such a huge journey.
It's been long.
Are you not tired for
Ah,
studying?
I feel like I'm tired, but I also know I have to finish it. So yeah.
Okay, interesting. So which part of Ghana do you come from?
I come from Mankisim in the central region of Ghana.
Hey, so today the fancy will flow, right?
I'll try. I'll try. Because of the international population, we will limit the party, but
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Oh, interesting. So please, the Menkesim people, are you here? You can give us a thumbs up in the comment section because you have your own Emmanuel Enin, who started from University of Education, Winneba. Winneba too is in Central Region, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I've been a
Then
central
from
region
Central Region all the way to the United States of America, and very soon his name will be Dr. Emmanuel Enin.
You dare not add it because it's been a long study.
How are you going to feel?
Uh, uh, First, it's the thanks will always go to God. But it will be a great accomplishment. It hasn't been easy, but when you push hard and you get it, you always have that joy. So we are looking forward to an abundant joy. But yeah, we can't say much about it. We just have to allow time to play out.
Oh, interesting. We just have to allow time to play out. But I'm sure very soon the Mankasim people will be happy because they've at least had one doctor
We
who
have a
didn't
lot.
study in Ghana but studied in Princeton. You know, Princeton University is one of the Ivy University in US, right?
Yeah, it's currently the best university in the United States, and it's an Ivy League.
Wow, I know. I know about that university. Charlie,
We are not
congratulations once
we are not
again.
very popular. We are not very popular. We are very low. We don't talk a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, congratulations once again for such a huge journey.
thank you. We thank God.
Yeah, I think the year will end soon. So which people do you want to give appreciation to?
Uh
Especially
this
those
I
who supported your study abroad dream.
I will always be thankful to people, notwithstanding which part of the year we are, notwithstanding whether we are going to the end, we are in the middle, or we are just starting. But I really want to thank God because without God, it's not going to be possible. Uh, I also want to thank my family who have been very supportive. The Freddy Feds was there when we were looking for someone to pay our service fee for us. I can't talk and leave out my cohort, my NSS cohort, who were there, and we were like a team trying to break through a system, and they were very helpful. Specific mention to Michael Osayagama, who brought this idea to fore. I thank everyone in my in my fraternity. Specific mentions would be to my friend and a sister Gladys, who has been there since the journey. We can't mention everyone, so we thank everyone for joining the section and for being part of my success, if we should call it that story.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm sure wherever they are, they'll be very happy to hear that you are acknowledging the support they have given to you so far. You know, it's always good to show appreciation. So please, in the comment section, anyone that you wanna acknowledge what the person has done for you throughout the year, at least one person, you can type in the comment section and then you will try and then read it out for you. So you type your name and whom you want to acknowledge for being very supportive throughout the year. All right. So, Koima. Yes, I just want you to relax because this is a friendly match, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So the first question has always been, yes, why USA? Why? What inspired you in the first place to think of studying abroad?
Okay, so and this is a normal conversation, nothing is rehearsed. So maybe I may repeat certain things, but all of you do forgive me. Uh
All right.
it wasn't intentional to choose the United States, and thinking about going to abroad or going outside for studies was not part of my thoughts. It was just after graduating from University of Education, Winneba, I got a call from my then HOD, who was like, "Okay, Emmanuel, I was looking through the sheets and I found out you are one of our best students. We do have a master's program with a 1 year study abroad. Would you want to apply to it? And I will encourage you to do." I was like, "Oh, okay. Do I really want to do masters right away? Because all 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 these times I was just thinking about finishing my degree, becoming a teacher, starting work as early. So after 5 years, which I was thinking at age 28, I will get married, have this my small house by then, a small car, start living life. So I wasn't really thinking about doing a master's or going outside. So he brought that idea and I was like, okay, I would have to convince my dad that you will have to continue paying school fees, because in Ghana, getting scholarship becomes a bit difficult and becomes who you know. So I went to my dad and I said, okay, this is what is happening. This is what my lecturer is saying. Do you think it's possible? He asked, how much is it going to cost? And I had to divide it. Probably he will find out because of this video, because he never knew I was going to pay half of the school fees. But I made it very like small amount of money so that he would say, okay, then I can afford. So I divided the fees with him, started the master's program in Ghana. But prior to starting, a friend who had gone to Denmark, the person I mentioned, Michael Asay, called and he wanted a favor. So after giving him the favor, he told me, do you know something? When we come, we should start applying to schools because life is better out there. Was like, okay. During a conversation with someone outside school, he also told me, what are you going to do after your degree? I said, I'm going to teach. And he asked me, which school are you going to teach? Do you have schools? Because government is not employing. That hits me so hard that it may be very difficult to live my planned out, my well planned out life of getting a job, working for 5 years, building my house and getting my car, then marrying. So I thought about this conversation with my friend. And when we came, we decided applying to school. So we started applying to school. So that is when this study abroad thing came to mind. It was after graduation, after my first degree. It wasn't part of my thoughts.
Oh, okay. Wow. I think you have an interesting story.
I do think it's interesting. It's just it's I'm really part of the few people who think sometimes one should not struggle to get something. I know we have people who have this idea that everything you attain or you get should be a struggle. I also believe that there is a God who has plans for people who work hard. And so sometimes you don't have to go through it. It shouldn't be a struggle. Sometimes you are there and it comes. And I think that is what happened to me. And
Interesting.
as we proceed, you see that it's not something that I was struggling to get. It's something that's met me.
All right. I think you said something very pointy that I have to highlight it. Please, what Ima is trying to say is that the God we have is not for those who are lazy.
That's true.
It's for people who work hard. So if you really want to see the power of the God that we serve, then work hard and you really see him. I think this is an interesting one. I love this statement.
That's true. Yeah.
All right.
You won't get to where you want to get if you are not hardworking. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And thanks to your friend in Denmark, I think on a road, on a 3 consecutive times, I think last week and this week, I think the similarities or the story is such that each and every one, in one way or the other, was inspired as a result of having traveling experience. But it seems your case is such that your friend told you life abroad is very smooth, and that motivated you to move out.
Yeah.
I
He
think
had
he
just
did a great job to influence your decision.
yeah, he did well. He had just traveled for a study abroad section, I think, for a few months. He came back, he called, and we had a chat about different things. But that is when he said, "Okay, if you are becoming a national service at University of Education, Winnipeg, then we should come together and do this thing together." So he had this experience. He shared the experience, and anyone who bought into that idea was going to get it. Yeah, but it's very helpful to have conversations with people who are ambitious, people who have a goal.
Oh, okay, interesting. So, when did you start this whole process?
Yeah, so I think I graduated in 2020, the COVID year. I never had the opportunity to do a graduation or have a graduation. But after graduation, I don't know whether we did.
Yeah, you might continue.
Yeah, I don't know whether we did. Maybe we did a graduation midway our service, but we started doing this preparation, this study abroad session prep when we started our national service. One day we were there. We said, "Okay, it's time. We think it's June, July." Or August, September, schools have started opening their applications, and so we should apply. We didn't know what SOP was, so we had to go online. We looked at a couple of them, and everyone drafted his or her SOP. I think we were in a group of 6 or 8. Everyone did his SOP. We then changed it. We corrected ourselves, and that is what we started with. Uh, we applied to wide ranges of schools, wide ranges of places because we were not even fixated on United States, Canada, Denmark, or anywhere. So I think I applied to a couple of schools in UK just because they don't take application fee. It's mostly free. I applied to a couple of schools in Denmark because not Denmark, Netherlands, because they also were free. And I did 2 universities over here, Harvard, which was a very far-reaching institution, but I don't know what. I think it was free application, so I was like, why not try? And I also did Western Illinois. So yeah, that is where the idea came from, and that is when it was probably around August, September, if not July, August, September. Yeah, but that is around the period we started applying, and we were applying as a cohort, a group of people who didn't know what they were doing or who didn't have a road plan or a plan they were working with, but we were very focused. We thought it was doable, and we did it.
Oh, okay. So you mean that you met as a group and you were just doing the application? How was it like? Was it like if you get to know the school, you will tell that I applying to this school, then we all apply? Or
Yeah. That was what was happening. You get to school and Agama may get it, I may get it. We were 6 or 8 in general, but for some reason and for humanity, we divided ourselves into 2 different cohorts. And I can remember I think we had one person coming from economics to join us, which is Gladys. But I remember myself, Agama, Emmanuel Sando, and Gladys being the 4 cohorts. And when you get to school, you tell your colleagues, "This is the school I got," and we apply. We ended up getting advice from our professor. So you can't all apply to one school. But funny enough, Western Illinois University, which I ended up going to, uh, almost all the people, almost the six or the eight, applied to Western Illinois University, and three got it with no, three got into it.
Wow. All of you applied to the same university
We did.
at the
We
same
did.
time, and
We
the
did.
three of you. Wow, you'll come back to your story because you are telling us something you've not heard before.
Yeah, we
Um,
did.
I have Arabi with us here. She'll be our co-host. So let me bring her on stage. Arabi,
Hi
can you hear?
everybody. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
can hear you now. I had to work on my
Merry
I don't know what
Christmas.
many happy returns. How have you been?
Actually, we are fine. And you?
I'm taking it one day at a time.
All right, all right, all right. So we have Yima with us here today. So
Hi
I'm
Emmanuel.
sure it's going to be friendly lunch.
Mm, it's friendly.
Un-
Yeah, hi Arabi.
unfortunately I was equally occupied at an equally important task. That's why I am late. So everybody in the space, Emmanuel and the Fed Defense team. So I'm RB and I'll be your co-host for today. I think I've had or enjoyed your conversation. But I mean, since you mentioned Western Illinois University, that's the school I graduated in this year. Why Western Illinois?
Okay. That's an interesting question. It wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. It wasn't like I had a very strong attachment to Western Illinois. It's a story. It's a fun story, and I have to mention this friend Olivia Innocent, now Olivia Mensah, who is also studying at the University of Connecticut. She's doing her PhD, also in her third year. So she saw me, and it's love at first sight. It wasn't romantic love, but she liked me
Oh,
as a
okay.
person. Yeah, so we were doing something about our NSS, and she saw me probably the way I was carrying myself. You realize this person is not so much of a trouble. So she came to me, or she took my number. We were supposed to give her our number. She took my number and was like, she sent a message. Oh, how are you doing? Wanted a friend. Like I said, oh, I'm also okay. I'm going to. And she introduced. She said she was going to the geography department. I was going to the history department. It was all social sciences. So we were going to the same place. And she became, probably apart from my friends, the only person I knew from outside before Gladys. Uh so one day we had built the friendship. I'm easy to go with person. She's also an easy to go with person. I had told her she wanted a partner, I think, a partner to apply with in the same school. She had a partner, like, yeah, but she wanted someone to apply with. And she wasn't getting people in her department. She knew I was hardworking and all, but I had also told her, do you know something? I'm already doing a master's here and I'm going to pay half of it. It's not because my dad does not want to pay, but because I have chosen to pay it. So I'm not going to pay any application fee. So she
Mm,
was not really like, I'm going to do this with money. So if we're not going to do it with money, it was going to be difficult for us to even partner and do it. So one day I was late to school. I was a teaching assistant. She was a teaching assistant. We were both late. And I saw her and we were talking about the struggle. And she was telling me how she has to do a lot of things because she has to save. And I was like, okay. Then she remembered, oh, Emmanuel, I remember you said you don't want to apply to universities that are collecting application fees. Western Illinois University was at that time free. And she told me Western Illinois University is not taking any application fee. This 2021, I know they stopped right afterwards, but this was 2021. No, I applied in 2020. I came in 2021. So I went to school and I told my friends, this is what I heard. Let's do it. And we all did it. So, no big attachment. It wasn't because they had a very strong history program. They did, but it wasn't then. Then it wasn't the reason. It was just because they were not taking any application fee.
okay, so it was application
Mhm,
fee waiver. That was what pushed you. But
mhm.
people also have the notion, or I mean, you have this thing out there that don't do schools that are application fee. They are waiving the application because you're not going to get admission. You're not going to get scholarship. What is your take on that?
Uh, I really think we all have different experiences. We all have different heads. We all have different documents, different papers. I think if you see yourself to be a strong student, if you see that you can make, and being a strong student is not only about your transcript, it's also about a story you tell to get into the school. If you're able to convince and use your documents to convince the people who are reviewing your documents, you may get into it. And one thing is, it doesn't hurt to apply to a free application school or application waiver institutions. I applied to Harvard. It was a PhD program. I knew it was a very hard reach, but I still did it. Why? Because I felt I wasn't going to lose anything. And it takes a maximum of 2 to 3 hours to complete an application. So why should I waste my time or decide not to apply because I may not get into it or I may not get funding? So that's my take on that.
Okay, so regardless, do it because you're not going to lose money. You're not going to lose. But people are also of the notion that they have limited people who are willing to be their referees. So tackling all these free schools plus the ones that are going to pay, maybe their referees are going to say, "Hey, I'm tired. I can't do 10 schools, 15 schools for you." How do you think people can balance this? Because it's free application. As an applicant, I might want to do it, but my referees can't support me on all the schools that I want to do. What do you suggest people do to balance this thing out?
Yeah, so what I'm taking from this question is it is so phased that the referee wants to order 10. But I want to still talk to that. If you have a referee who is so interested in you, he doesn't care because the changes he's going to do in your reference letter is very little for every school. So he doesn't really care about how many schools you are doing. I had referees who were interested in me as a person and in my scholarship, and so they didn't have any problem with that. But if you have referees who are talking about the number of schools you are applying to, there are things you should take into consideration. Are you going to get funding? Is it easy to live in this state? What is and having like a couple of schools which are the best to apply. So you may want to limit yourself to 5 schools to apply, which are the best to apply by looking at the strength of their program, your own admissibility, like whether they are going to admit you or not. So having these thoughts into consideration and thinking about these big questions may allow you to decide on which school you want to apply to. But one thing I would say is speak with your recommenders. They are just human. If someone accepts to write a recommendation letter for you, it means the person is interested in you. And let them know that even if it's just changing of the school, that will do for you.
Thank you. I appreciate this insight I've given to our audience. Ben, you can take it from
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Ima. I think we will be interested in this. You said that is what is important is having someone or a recommender who is interested in you. It doesn't matter the number of applications you're doing, the person will be willing to help you out. My question is, what did you do exceptional for you to have that kind of, to get to a point whereby your lecturers were able to have that strong interest in you? Are you
Yeah, so
comfortable to share with us?
yeah. Going through my education, I wasn't someone who liked to go to professors and have conversations with them. I felt like it really have something to do with your performance, and people may cast some eyes on you when they realize, okay, you came out as the best, and they feel like it's because you were close with this one or that one. But I used to carry myself very respectful anytime I see you, and I will let you know I've seen you, I'll greet you. And with my recommendation letters, I went to these professors. I explained to them what was at stake and why I needed it. One funny story is I was already in a program, and the HOD was supposed to write a letter of recommendation for me. And it was his program that I was in. I had to convince him that, do you know something? I may come back. I may come back and be of help to this particular institution if I should get in. I may also not get in at all. So it's just an issue of you helping me. He listened to me and he was like, okay, why not? So it's just a matter of having a conversation. Have like personal relation with these individuals. Don't treat them as recommenders. Treat them as relations, people you
Oh,
can be, people you can have conversation with, even if it's not about school. So that is how I treat, and that is how I treat many people in my life. I don't treat you because I saw you here, or I saw you there, and that is the only relation I have with you. I talk with you on a friendly level, so that when I come to you that I need something, or when you come to me that you need something, it will be very easier for you to come, and it will also be easier for me to come. So that is how I treat things. I think I'm still in connection with most of my professors. Do check up on them once in a while, because we don't know where life is taking us. But it's also not because we don't know where life is taking us. It's because it's part of my training. You don't just overlook anyone.
wow. Arabi, are you still in touch with your lecturers from UCC? You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I am in touch, and this Christmas I gave my commanders a Christmas gift, even though it's been years that I requested for their services, but it's something that I want to do every year or annually. So, just as he said, it wouldn't be that I go back to them because I need another recommendation letter, but I want to build that rapport with them. Personally, I was course rep for most of my courses, and so I had, and I still have that relationship with most of my lecturers. I am so happy you talked about the fact that you should look at a recommender who is interested in you. Sometimes we just go to the departments and say we need recommendation letters, and some departments just have templates. So they just give it to you, or they just, I mean, it's not about the relationship you have with the person. I think that from my experience, if it happens like that, the person can't speak to your personal skills and your personal experience. They'll just give you the raw and the templates that the department has for everybody. And in a very competitive world, now the graduate school application is very competitive. If you don't have a recommender who is speaking to your personal skills, person showing that, oh, I know this person on a personal level, I taught this person, apart from the teaching, I can speak to this person's experience, I can speak to this person's leadership skills and all of that. It's really tough. So if you are still on campus, if you are in school, please, especially with I didn't join earlier. Imano, what school did you graduate from? Undergraduate UCC
University of Education, Uniba.
or Winneba, especially like Winneba UCC, we have a very big campus, very big class. If you are not careful, your supervisor or your lecturer will not know you. So you have to make a deliberate effort for our lecturers to know us, so that when we go back to them for recommendation letters, they'll be like, when did I teach you? Who are you? And all of that. So please, if you are still in school, make it a deliberate effort to have a personal relationship with your lecturers. So thank you for touching on that, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
Then please
and
take
thank
over.
you, Arabi, also. So, Ima, do you want to add to what Arabi just said? Because
Yeah.
honestly, we've had several complaints whereby most of the people listening to us will be complaining of letters of recommendation, and it's like someone only headache at the moment is letters of recommendation. If not, the person might be able to put together all the requirement. How can we overcome this?
Yeah.
Adding
So
to what Arabi just said.
yeah, so her comments were just perfect. You would have to create that relationship, but I think it's a problem that we would have to solve. It's very systematic problem where people are having to struggle for recommendation letter. In University of Education, Winneba and the history departments, some of the students who have made it to the United States went to the university and had conversations with professors about this particular problem and how we can overcome it. One thing I usually tell people who are getting into this process is that it never gets easier. And the struggle that you start from this place in Ghana, going to look for recommendation, is a struggle that is a lifelong struggle. You will struggle till you die. It's just part of life. It's the hardship is there. So just pick a car from wherever you are, go to your university, speak with professors there, have that personal conversation with them. They are just humans. I don't know if I'm talking as a superhuman or I'm talking because of where I am, but I think it was easier for me when, because of because I was a teaching assistant, I had very unlimited access to these professors. But I would have still gone to the universities, have a chat with these professors, tell them why this is important for me. Because I just made an argument that I had to convince a professor that you have to do this for me. So you have to do it. It's a struggle. It takes money, it takes time, it takes energy, and you have to put it in it. We have some professors who may see themselves as very big and not wanting to talk with you, but we also have professors who are very humble, who are willing to help, but they just can't see an online human being. They just can't see an email. They just can't see a phone call. You would have to be there. Even your dressing, even how you carry yourself will influence them. So we would have to put a lot of work into getting recommenders to trust us and to feel like we can do this for this person.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, and I'm sure. Please, those of us listening, we are learning from the hints and the hacks Emmanuel is giving to us. So, if you just join us today, our guest happens to graduate from University of Education Winneba, and he was able to move to Western Illinois, the United States, for his master's, and at the moment, he's yet to complete his PhD. Arabi, I think it's a nice story, right?
It's a very interesting story. I mean, I'm being biased because he's from Western Illinois. So let me say this clear that I'm going to be biased on this interview. I'm just liking the story. Obviously, he has a very interesting story, and plus my biases. So please, I've admitted it. So if you come and say I'm being biased, I've admitted it. Don't come and say anything. Yeah. So I also graduated from Western Illinois this year, and what from a Ghanaian to Western Illinois perspective, what do you think Western Illinois has? What's your current institution, please, where you're having your PhD?
I'm at Princeton University. Princeton,
Princeton.
yes.
Oh, New Jersey, right?
Yeah, New Jersey, yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think? Ah, Princeton. Please, your PhD in what?
History. Yeah, you've heard about me. I know you've heard about me. I know. It's just normal because you came to Western Illinois University, and I know you.
We will
So,
talk about this
yes,
backstage.
yes, it's okay. Yes, it's okay.
We will talk about it because I was like, hold
Yeah,
on. We will talk about this backstage.
yeah,
I
it's
don't want
okay.
the people here,
Mhm.
Emmanuel and
Yeah.
Mary Ruth. I don't want them to listen to what we are talking about. We
Mhm.
talk about that backstage.
Okay.
So personally, I was from a different school to Western Illinois,
Mhm.
so I could weigh both schools. I love Western Illinois support for international students, making sure the international students are very comfortable and all that. What is your experience? Do you think that support for international students is also a contributing factor when selecting a school in the US?
Yeah, I would always say yes, and I would always say Professor Glenn, as a Dr. Glenn, has been very helpful from the start of my application. I have this weird story by the grace of God. It's weird, but it's also by the grace of God. It was COVID time. It was difficult to get dates. I got dates for people, but I didn't get dates for myself. And I had to contact Professor Glenn and tell him, do you know something? I want to attend the fourth semester. I don't want to do spring. We were three, and I was able to convince Glenn to extend my date for me, my arrival date. So my arrival date on my I-20 is different from the rest of the I-20s that was shared. because I had a meeting with my head of department, graduate advisor, Professor Glenn, Dana Sixto, and they were very helpful. I don't think I would have gotten it anywhere else. They were willing to listen, they were willing to amend. And also, I was working at the writing center. I wasn't having an assistantship in my department. The writing center, Professor Mossman, was very helpful. So, yes, if you get a school with international office that is interested in international students, it makes it very easy for you to excel, like for you to go through it. Yeah. So I do agree. I do agree. And Western Illinois University has, when I was there, I can't talk about now because I haven't been there for 3 years. But when I was there, it was very supportive of students, international students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So Yuma did is a quick one. He says from Gilbert. He says he taught you math at JHS.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
he-
yeah. Yeah, he's my teacher.
at,
Yeah.
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 So I want you to know that Sir Gilbert is watching
Thank
you
you.
live.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
So
you.
that
Thank
is
you,
how
sir.
far the Fred effect can go. So please, as usual, just type on the link, share. Today we want our people in Menkesim to see their hero
I'm not
because
yet
he's
a
coming
hero.
home
I'm
as
not.
a doctor very soon.
I'm not a hero. I'm just the normal everyday Emmanuel.
Yeah, so please let's share the link. Let's like and share so that the Menkesim people will see their this share on the Freddy First Study Abroad podcast. You know, one thing I've just learned today is that please, this is apokronkron from Emmanuel. The way he said it, if you are not sure, you may not get it. He said that on his I-20, let's say he was supposed to report on 8th August, and he was not getting date. So what he did was that he spoke to the department and they extended the date for him. And I think this is one thing that we can also learn. So it could be that you are not getting date. Please don't sit down and cry. Don't put your head
communicate.
as if all hope is gone. So this is one of the strategies you can learn from Emmanuel. Talk to the department, let them know your situation, and I'm sure they can extend the date so that even if you are applying for emergency date, it will still come within the time you are supposed to return back to school, based on the time of extension the university is going to give you. So please, if you want to apply for emergency, but let's say you want to join this January and you think that the date is approaching, you are not getting emergency date, don't give up. Contact the department and hopefully they can give you a new I-20 with a date extension, which can make your visa interview story a very convincing one. Ima, thank you so much for this hint.
Yeah, I want to highlight that it's not going to be very easy. United States is very strict, and you would have to tell a story that is very convincing. I told you we were three. They all have different dates, or we all had different dates. I was the only one who was able to convince them. So it's not easy. That's the story I want to tell. It's always not easy, but it's possible.
Very good.
Yeah,
It is
I think
always not easy,
easy.
but it is possible. In
One of
fact,
the things. Mhm. Go ahead,
Karen,
Ben.
you go. You can go on.
Okay. One of the things during my application, Fred would always say is ask them. The worst they can say is a no. So don't just sit back home and assume that even if I ask, they're going to say no. If they say no, what have you lost? What if they say yes? So just ask. And as for Dr. Green, they have to stand up and talk about that man. His love for international students is above the roof. It's just top notch. He's somebody who has sacrificed his life and love for international students. I am also going to say it from the Ghanaian perspective. He'll make sure he pushes you to graduate assistantship positions. He's there for all our activities. He's just because I have a personal relationship, he just goes to yes as well. He just has it for international students, and I love him for that. So, just as you said, if you are looking for a school, in as much as you are looking for the funding and all of that, look for a school that has international students at heart. Because this thing that he did for you, most schools will not do.
No.
If you don't have a date, I mean, there are thousands of people looking for us who want your assistantship in your place. So it's like next, if you are not ready, the next person is there to catch that opportunity. So for an international student offers to be this supportive to international students, I would always recommend Western Illinois University. So that's another opportunity for me to sell my former school. Please, if you are doing even though we don't do free applications again, but it is worth it. The school, the community, we have a lot of Ghanaians in the school. Please consider Western Illinois University as one of your schools if you are doing your application. All right, Ben.
Thank you. All right. So, Ima, you said right from your introduction that studying abroad wasn't really part of your plan. But do you think that now you've made the right choice?
It's always the right choice to decide to do the undoable. And uh doing when I was doing this now, because of Fred, because of Oina, because of Bawa, we it's very common, but during our time it wasn't that common. You will find it very difficult to find information online to learn how SOP is done. So we did what was uncommon, but it's always nice and it's always good to break through. And I can't say I don't know if any of the students who get to the United States, even those who go through a lot of struggle, would say I regret coming to the United States, or I regret going outside to do my master's degree, PhD, or even undergraduate. I don't regret it.
Mm,
Wow, interesting. So Ima says that he has never regretted for making the decision to study in the United States. So Ima, let's come back some more to your application. History. So you apply for masters in history, right?
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
think this is an area that people might not really think of because they think that it has limited scholarship opportunities. Um, how would you take this?
Yeah, so it's interesting that history has a lot of scholarships in the United States. It has a lot of the fully funded programs. You find history as part of it. Uh, Especially when you are coming to do a PhD in history, that's always a full ride. And I'm so glad that we have multiple, especially even from UEW alone. We have many students coming from UEW to read their masters. Many students coming from UEW to read their PhDs. It's something, and it's not even about history. It's about the social sciences. Fred shared a couple of schools, and geoscience, that's geography. It's one of the programs that has enormous many scholarship available. So we always okay, sometimes geography is classified as STEM, but we always look at the non-STEM as something one cannot travel with. But that's one of the misconceptions. That's one of the biggest lie you can ever have. I know most universities, and I have many friends who are doing history, who are doing non-STEM programs in the United States. They are getting uh, monthly stipends. They are doing well. They are not even struggling. So yeah, that's what I would have to say about it. History is a deal. It's how it has always been a deal, because I don't know any course that do not have the history of the course. And if you can teach the history of the course, you have to be a historian. So yeah,
Wow. So apparently every lecturer is a historian.
yeah, they usually have a history of mathematics, history of
Yeah,
geography.
you
So,
know, I once
mm,
says that almost most of the things we are learning, they are all about dead people. So
yeah,
if you don't know the
yeah.
history behind, how can you teach? That's an interesting one. So did your application come with a scholarship?
Yeah, so it's also funny, and it's also part of why I would say we didn't know what we were doing, but we were just doing it, and we did it with all the best of resources we could find online and everywhere. I applied to Western Illinois University not knowing you even had to apply for funding separately. So I was there, yeah, and the date for applying for funding passed. I was there when my head of department, probably after reading my application, felt like, okay, this is a good student. But he had also given out his funding, and he reached out to me, Emmanuel, we want to give you admission, or we've given you admission, one of it. But we saw that you didn't apply for graduate assistantship. Do you need a graduate assistantship? So it was a question, it was a request. Do you need? I said, oh yes, I can't really even come to Western University without funding. He was like, oh, we thought you had source of funding, so we didn't even consider your application for graduate assistantship in the department. I will see what I can do about it. 2 days later, he sends me an email saying there is this assistantship in the writing center, which is a neutral assistantship, and we have had one student work with the writing center. They were interested in his work, in her work, and if you want, you can apply, but remember you would have to go for an interview. It's like when you try and you don't get it, you don't lose anything, and that's always it. So I applied, I got it, I did my interview, everything went well. And that is when I got an assistantship to Western Illinois University.
Oh, okay. So your application came with an assistantship.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
The admission came alone before I applied for the assistantship. But I left Ghana with an assistantship. Is it
Oh,
clear?
okay. That's an interesting. Yeah, it is clear now.
Okay.
Yes. So having said this, now if we are to reverse the clock, what are you going to do differently when it comes to applications?
Yeah, so now it's not even about reversing the clock. It's about the tons of information we have available. We have a lot of information from Fred, from the Fred effect to be specific, from the others I knew about King's Fodoina, who is no more in operation or he's on pause. I knew about, I've known about Bewa or Bawa. They have what we need to do and the different kinds of applications we have. We know that some universities, for Princeton, I applied without applying for scholarship. The program comes with funding. At Western Illinois University, you would have to go and do a separate application. So we have these two types of applications. Know the kind of application you are doing, and it doesn't harm to send just an email. Hi, Professor, this and that. I have applied to this university. I wanted to know if I would have to apply for funding separately. He's going to respond, oh, our program comes with a fully funded, it's a fully funded program. You don't have to do a separate application. Oh, yes, you'd have to do a separate application. And these are the requirements. For Western Illinois University, you apply with almost nothing. But if you want an assistantship, you'd have to add, I think, a resume. You have to add recommendation letters. When I was applying, I have to add recommendation letters, 3 or 2 recommendation letters, and a couple of other requirements. So sometimes the application process is so smooth, you are not required to add many things. But if you want an additional assistantship, then you would have to add certain materials to support your application. So it's not about rewinding, it's about the information we have today. We have a lot, dozens of information. Fred is always having someone with a different perspective, with a lot of specialization in the field. And so I think it's now clear. Apply, ask questions. And maybe we'll get there, but let me just put it through. Most of the times when you want to apply, send an email. In the email, ask as much as questions you can. They respond to them. They respond to them.
Uh,
Emmanuel, first,
Uh, Okay, no, Ben is watching us on Facebook. Ben F. Listen, shout outs to you for watching us all the way from Volta region. And Man Solo has a question. There's a question I want to ask. Please, must all your fees come from your higher education institutions? The answer is no. If you have, a boss at work, maybe a religious personality, the most important thing is that they should have an institutional email. If you are just tuning in, we have Ben here. Arabi, our guest is also Emmanuel Enin. Emmanuel came all the way from University of Education, Winneba. And, what I wanted to put across is that, Emmanuel was part of the 2021 batch, right? So for people seeing the Freddy Fair for the first time, we've been in this game for years and we've had opportunity to impact a lot of people. I remember Emmanuel sent me a DS once. He said, I'm like, bro, picture where the ain't even Yusu. This is a Yusu for. So and Emmanuel's batch was Kingsford Onyina. We had, you mentioned Olivia. Olivia is currently in Connecticut, started with Urban University. So we had opportunity to impact a lot of people for over years now. And every year the Fred Effect team has two groups. First group for the mock session, if you remember, and then the second group will be for people who get their visa approved.
Mm-hmm.
I think your group is still the most active. Kingsford, they have a lot of great guys who are doing their PhDs now and stuff like that. So if you are listening to us, there is always somebody out there willing to, hold your hands to help you. And the Fred Effect team has been doing this for years. Imagine somebody from Winnipeg now, Western Illinois now doing a PhD at Princeton. And I'm happy for you as well. We have, a collaboration with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of ex-visa officers. If you are preparing for a visa interview, try and talk to them before you go for the actual visa interview. I'm going to share the link, and then you can use that link to schedule a one-on-one meeting with the Argo Visa team. They will help you go through your DS-160, do a one-on-one mock session with you before your actual visa interview. Use the link I'm sharing on the screen to schedule a one-on-one session with the Argo Visa team. Also, Arabi, you have a collaboration with Lemfi. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so Lemfi is an app if you're in the US, UK, Canada, the European countries, and then you send money back home, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Rwanda, and all other supporting African countries. Lemfi is saying that just send $100 and more, and they're going to give you a cashback of $20. After that, if you send $50 and more, Lemfi gives you 1% or sometimes 0.5% of every money that you send back home. So it's Christmas season. Those if you are sending your Christmas bonya gifts and all of that to people, please use Lemfi. If you are first, if this is your first time, use my code ARABEE, and when you send your first $100, Lemfi gives you $20 cash back.
If you have family members in the UK, Canada, or US, just ask them to download. It's an app that they can download on your phone. Sometimes people would have to travel to some, grocery shops to Western. We are not, talking ill about it, but they can simply download them on their phone. So if your parents abroad, uncles, aunties who want to send you money abroad, they are telling you they have to travel and then drive to whatever place. Tell them that they can simply download the Lemfi so that they can send it to you. You can pay your visa application fee. You can pay your application fee and stuff like that. So download Lemfi, Lemfi. Remember, the code you're going to use is ARABEE, so that they get cash back and all that. All right. So Ima, I'm happy for the opportunity to appear on this podcast. This whole thing, when we started the WhatsApp group, I didn't even want to show my face. So, it was Kingsford Onyina who came through your batch and was, started this whole thing and was able to say that, Fred, you can do this. And then, so, people, we didn't just start this way. We were assisting people, low key. We didn't even want to show our face. And thank God, now we have a platform, which is the biggest study abroad content platform. And we have somebody who is more or less like a product. I remember when, Olivia wanted to share the free application. It was through Olivia that we got to know that Western Illinois was waiving application fee. So shout outs to Prince. Prince also came to Western Illinois. It was through this same Olivia. Shout outs to Olivia. She's currently in Connecticut. Miss Olivia.
Oh, my president, Prince.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prince Asamoah.
we had a whole team. We had like,
Oh,
as it stands now, their group is still active. Even though they are married, they still communicate in that WhatsApp group. It's still there. When sometimes something goes on, they come and communicate on there. So yeah, and
I
we can
see.
continue from there. Arabi, take it from there.
All right. So you were talking, Emmanuel, you're talking about sending emails and all of that. So let me even ask you this. Of what percentage do you think writing good emails play in this whole study abroad process?
I would tell you it plays 100% role. It's not even contestable. When you write an email, you leave a print on the mind of the person you sent an email, and sometimes you need someone to be there to talk on your behalf.
Mm,
Most of the times people think connection It's just a Ghana thing. I was at the writing center where my supervisor said you should reach out to people. They may be the people to help you in the future. Connection works. It doesn't work with you paying anyone. But if you send a good email to a professor, you leave a good imprint on the mind. If you are two people competing, the professor knows you, he doesn't know the other person. He will go for you and leave the other person. Sometimes the person may be beating you with a half or a one, or he's far ahead, but you've all crossed the mark. You'll be like, okay, I know this person. I think he has not just the academic, but he also has the personality, the behavioral, the social. And so let me go with the person. So it's plays a huge role. I usually tell my friends, send an email. Even if it doesn't get a response, send it.
Mm. So good emails leave a lasting impression on professors, supervisors, um, advisors, and all of that, like program coordinators and everything. Okay. What do you say? I mean, in this era of AI, what do you see the influence of AI in writing emails? What do you say about that?
Uh, Uh, I I am one of the people who are not against AI for multiple reasons. One is the powers behind AI. They are not going to die, and AI is going to still live. We would have to utilize them, but utilize them wisely and know how to use it. You drink, but you drink wisely, and you utilize AI. Tell your own story, write your own story, and you can give it to AI to polish it for you. Be human as possible in whatever you are saying. So if you just tell AI, write something about me or write a letter or an email to this professor, AI can write something very perfect, maybe grammar, it's okay. But the human aspect will be lost. So you can draft something, give it to AI, and that is what I think is best to do. There is a research which is showing that people who are using AI for their everything, they are losing part of their brain cells. Their brain cells are dying because they are not being used. So use it, but use AI to perfect it.
Okay. So use AI to refine your emails or polish it, not to write the emails for you.
That's
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. So from Western Illinois to Princeton, I mean, we all know Princeton. Why the PhD? Is it because you weren't ready to use your OPT, you weren't getting jobs, or you just who wouldn't want Princeton? Why PhD in Princeton?
Yeah, so one of the things I always say is thinking ahead. I was already sending an email to my professor, and I can pull it out. First semester, first semester, I was sending an email to my professor saying I'm thinking about doing my PhD after this program. Why was I thinking about that during that time? It was just because I had studied the landscape and I knew I had an OPT for a year, and I also knew PhD would give me 6 years or 5 years to stay in the United States and plan a future. To go to Ghana and impact, or if I decide not to go, in my 6 years, I'll be able to find a pathway to stay in the United States. So it was planning ahead. And I was thinking, okay, if I get out of school for a year and I'm coming back to apply, will I get access to these professors as I have now, where I can go into their office and tell them whatever I want to tell them? Yes, maybe I could have just flied in and go to the office and do that, but there were other supports and things I won't get. One of the it's interesting that my application for PhDs, I didn't pay it with my own money. One of my professors said, "Okay, uh, I don't think you can get into Princeton, but take this money and use it for your applications." So he
Ooh,
gave me $250 at a time to use for my applications. So I think it was me thinking about, okay, 1 year, 6 years, I can still do my OPT after PhD. So why don't I continue? I also have this philosophy that I want to get done with school, drop it behind me, and start life. So that is the reason why I jumped into a PhD program. Now, why Princeton? Princeton was the last school I applied to.
What?
It was the last school I applied to, and I had to. I was sitting and I sent an email to the history department coordinator. I was like, no, secretary. I was like, do you have a PhD in history? That should tell you how lazy I was. I didn't even
Unprepared.
research on it. I didn't even research on it. She said, yes, we do have, and we have a PhD in African history. I said, okay. I heard Princeton from two people. I didn't know Princeton. I knew Harvard. I heard it from my auntie, Ma Carol, and I also heard it from a woman who has become a family. She was working with me, and she said, "You are so intelligent." And I had come to New Jersey. She said, "You are so intelligent. You can get into Princeton." I didn't take it serious. I was speaking with my auntie, and my auntie said someone is telling her that Princeton have funding, and it will also bring me closer to her. I was like, okay, why not try? So I told my graduate coordinator I want to apply to Princeton. He said it's a far reach, like it's going to be very difficult for you to get into it. And there was this kind of racial. I don't think he was thinking about it in a racial sense, but a racial slur, like even Americans are not getting into Princeton. How much more you an African? And we have a lot of history students, so but I told him, and that is one thing about the United States. You just have to make your point and make it clear. And even if they don't agree, they are going to still support. So he wrote a letter of recommendation. I knew he wrote something good in there. I applied to Princeton. I paid it with his own money, even though he was a Doubting Thomas, and I got into it.
I think America gives you that fair leverage. If you're able to tell your story right, regardless of where you are coming from, whichever school, if you tell your story right, if you put in the work, you're going
Mhm.
to see the results of your efforts. So you were talking about 6 years, giving you a time to think about a pathway. How did you get approved? I mean, now we have seen your pathway. That was the EB2, right?
Mhm.
Can you tell us about, so now you have taken your PhD. It has given you some time. I mean, comparing it to OPT, that was just 1 year before I realized, so you might not even have the time to think about your pathway. You have taken OPT, sorry, the PhD route. You have that time to think about your pathway. You have you have the approval for EB2. How did you do it? What happened? What stood out in your application? What did you do during your masters that gave you that edge for you to say that, okay, I mean, that even gave you that vim, that motivation that if I put in the EB2 application, I think I'm qualified for this.
Yeah, I was speaking with a friend recently, and she was asking me why didn't she do it early, and I told her I had told you this as early as our second semester, end of first year, second semester. And this is where what I mean. We think before it gets there. I think I learned it from my dad. I think it's the best thing everyone should do. Like thinking, having a foresight and thinking before the time gets there. First year, second semester, summer, I was somewhere. I even remember the conversation I was having with this friend. I
Hold
went
on,
on
first
my
year PhD or first year masters? Please.
master's. Master's. Masters. Yes. Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, I was speaking with this friend, and in the evening, I don't think we talked about CB2, but in the evening, I was watching YouTube videos. I chanced on a pathway to becoming a green card holder. I was like, okay, what is this pathway? Pathway. I sent the person an email. This is me. This is what I've achieved so far, and I think from what you are saying, I still made it. Can I do it? He said, okay. And he was also one of the people I discussed the pathways with. He said, okay, for me. I started a PhD, abandoned it, and after getting my green card, I abandoned it. That wasn't what I was going to do. But I wanted to say I had this conversation as early as my first year summer. Now, what's made me think about EB2? No, I think I'm missing your question. It's not what made me think
No,
about
it's
it.
the same question. What made you think about it? How did you get approved?
Yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
was
So
outstanding in your application? Like everything about it. If you could say everything about
yes, yes, yes. So one thing I said at the beginning of this conversation was being hardworking. I will tell people that I wasn't thinking, and I said it, I wasn't thinking about getting to the United States, but I wasn't joking with my studies. I came to Western Illinois. I wasn't thinking about it between my first year, but I had already done a publication in my first year. I had already attended like two and attended and presented at two conferences. And that is me like kickstarting whatever I have to do when I got there. So it isn't like relax and it will come, or it isn't as if I know something and I'm preparing towards it. I prepare, leave it there, and then it will rain, then it blossoms. So that is what I tell people. And I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and he told me I finished this semester a month ago, and it is thanks to you because you told me you finished your papers 2 weeks earlier before the semester ends. And I said yes. It makes you like relaxed, and you don't think about ending in a haste. Then you make a lot of
Last minute
mistakes.
pressure.
Yes,
why are you making me feel like the most unserious graduate student ever?
no, no, no.
Like chill.
It's also because we have different people and we have different
And
ideologies. Some
and
people feel like
chill because
let's.
I mean everything you are saying, I'm just looking like, hey, I mean this graduate school, is it the same thing I did?
Arabi,
Oh,
it's like Arabi is not a serious student
oh,
too.
no, no, no,
Please,
no,
you
no, no.
know, right?
No, that is not the case. We have different personalities. I usually want to encourage people to do it early, relax. But I also know we are Africans and we like that one. Pa pa pa. Yes, let's suffer. Then we may faint and go to the hospital, but it's okay. It's okay. It's still okay. But yes, that is what I do. So I had started working as early as my first semester. By the time I completed Western Illinois, I had four publications. I had four conferences, two publications. So I had very little things to do, and what delayed my application was because of money. Western Illinois, you are unable to save a lot, so I had to wait for Princeton money in order to put in the application. But apart from that, I had already prepared my application, and first day I wasn't even thinking about it. I was working. So when I heard it and I knew what I was supposed to do, I go.
You already had
Yeah, I went
everything,
all
your
in. Yeah.
publications, your
Yeah. So
oh
one thing I will communicate to people who are even in the United States is do whatever a graduate student is supposed to do. They are not required, they are not compulsory, but do them. They may come in handy in the near future. One of the bonuses I will give is that during this time we are in holidays, Coursera is having free courses. Take some, at least two every December, and put them on your CV. It may help you.
Arabi is not ready to do that because she will be learn fine.
It's just 5 hours. 5 hours is a conversation hours.
Yuma,
wow,
thank you so
wow.
much for the information you are giving us. I think you mentioned about hard work, and I was a little bit alarmed because we have some of us, we've been applying to as many countries we can, applying to different types of program. We are not sleeping, no
Yeah.
applications of applications, but it is not working for us. Is it that we are not working too hard or we are missing out some steps? Can you help us solve this problem? Because
Yes.
we
Yes.
don't sleep. Oh.
Yeah. It's a
We've
puzzle.
tried like 5 years now. We are not getting scholarship. Even application cry to get admission is another problem.
Yeah. It's a puzzle that is easy to solve now in middle of informations or information. Uh, I know someone who was in the United States, had 4.0 GPA, applied to 10 schools and got none. So it's not about not even working hard. It's about being strategic.
Mm.
It's about being strategic. And the strategies I think Fred has poured a lot out there, but they come in different sessions and you would have to go through all of them. But if I am to advise someone, one thing is for you to go all in. I have friends who you talk about study abroad, they are so interested, but at the end they will say, "Can you apply for me?"
For me.
Like, where is that coming from? And sometimes I look at myself and I say, I didn't have this information. I got into contact with Fred when I was paying my service fee, and he helped me with DS 160 an interview. But application to get an admission, I didn't know Fred. We are in the midst of information where we can get all the information we need. You just have to take your time, go through it, make all the sacrifices that you need. Someone just tell me I don't have a laptop, I just have a tablet. And I'm like, okay, then then if you don't
You
want to
don't
do
have
it,
a laptop,
yeah,
you have a tablet.
what can I do to help you? Because I'm very we are busy. Like everyone who has traveled knows it's a busy lifestyle over here. So I'm not going to give you an advice and still come and take your laptop and do your application for you. Uh you would have to put in the work. People are saying yes, we are working hard, and I know people are really doing the working hard. Someone applied to 10 schools. I said it, but what did this what did this person do wrong? And interesting enough, this person sent an application to Princeton, and from a conversation, it came out that he had one of the strongest, if it was ranked in Princeton, but there was something he didn't listen to. I had told this person he
Mm,
didn't listen. So you need to listen. Sometimes, even if you are applying to history, and I know we have different, and you are applying to PhD, look at the professor's background. What am I going to say that will make this professor interested in me? This professor is an environmental historian, and you are telling him I have a topic on political history. Notwithstanding how strong you are academically, you are not going to get it because he can't supervise you. So be strategic. Put in all the work that you have to put in. Look at the background of these professors. Look at the students and the works they've done. Look at how you can like sell your work to this professor so that he feels like this is the person I'm looking for. it's
mm,
it needs money. And now that we did it in the COVID era where they felt like, oh, there is no money, but we all saw that the school Fred posted one was taking transcript evaluation. Are you willing to go through that? So it's a hard process and it needs hard people to go through it. So take your time, watch all the videos that Fred has on his platform. Contact Fred if you have specific questions. Book sections, if it is paid sections, book it. Have a conversation, get to know it. It's not that easy. I tell people, I began by saying no one goes through it by struggling. But struggling and hard work, they are very different. You may not struggle, but you need a hard work. So the information are out. I don't have any new thing to add. But try to find the right information, use the information wisely. And one thing I want to add is time is very important. Don't
mm.
delay the process. I know someone who delayed a process and it took him 3 years to come back to what he could have gotten in a year or in a few months. So take time as an important factor and work with it.
Interesting.
Especially in a system like America, where you cannot say, "Oh, sir, please, my mother says, my uncle says." If deadline is deadline, the system is shut. If you are not like, there's nothing sometimes they can even do about it. So please take into consideration deadlines if we are doing all this application. Thank you, Emmanuel. Your story is interesting and you are pouring out a lot. This thing, people are supposed to pay to hear these stories. So you are getting this for free. You see? All right, Ben.
Yeah, so my guy, this is one of our I would say constant customers. Black is always joining us live, and Black, we appreciate your love. You know, he has said something that I think we have to really look into. He says, Mr. Yima is telling us the bitter reality we are refusing to accept. Why is it the case?
Yeah, I mean, people are putting in the work, but just as you said, they are not being strategic with how, and sometimes people too don't listen because I am in this way. I'm saying that like do it this way. It could help you or it will help you with your application. But somebody will come and say, my friend says, my uncle says, da 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 says, and I'm like, okay, go ahead with whatever they are saying. But then, I mean, it is what it is. But someone has a question here. Let me. He said he wants to know the reaction of the professor who didn't believe in you. I who didn't believe you get Princeton. When you got Princeton, what was the reaction of the professor?
Okay, so it wasn't as if he even felt he was doing anything bad. He thought he was telling me the reality.
So that
It
is the
was
reality, mom.
yeah, it
Princeton is
wasn't what he
Princeton.
was against me, and uh they were happy. I was published on WIU websites as
Mm-hmm.
someone who got into Princeton University, and it was because of them they pushed it to the administration, and the administration took it up. He was really happy, and he is still happy. He checked up on me. I think he was thinking, okay, how can a student from Western make it? So first semester they were already asking, have you gotten your results? How did it come out and all that? They were happy, but they just wanted to see if I was excelling. I don't think he did it out of any bad thinking. He just felt like that is the truth. We are not getting into it, and how can he get into it? But our stories are different. We have different graces, and we pray differently. So he was okay. I'm still in touch with him,
Mm. Okay. So
and he
let's
was the
let's
same. He was the same person who gave me money to apply. So
apply. Yeah.
yes,
So he wasn't saying this out of malice or out of
no,
any malicious intent. Just that is the reality. Like Princeton is not cheap, and
no, it's not cheap. It's not easy to get.
getting into Princeton is a big deal. It's such a big deal. So he was just being very honest. Like even domestic students are not getting.
Mhm,
International students, a black boy. Come
mhm.
on. But that's a good feat. I must say I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Being from Winneba to WIU to Princeton. That's a huge feat. Okay, so now let's talk about this EB2 route that you have finally found yourself in. Of course, if I should ask you if you advise all international students to go that route, you are going to definitely say kind of yes. But then, how different does it make you from your F1 status to that status? What are some of the benefit that gives you, that satisfaction that gives you, because F1 has a lot of restrictions, but EB2 on your path or on your way to green card gives you that lot of benefit. What's the distinction? Very comfortable as an international student in the US.
Yeah, so the question you asked was the reason why I applied to Western to for the EB2 application. I felt like okay, I am an international student. It's a disadvantage in the job market because some will not just pick an international student. I have just 1 year of OPT. Sometimes by the time you get a school, it becomes you get to work, it becomes very difficult to even start by the time you realize you have no experience. I did this to give me time to explore and to also look at myself teaching in an institution where in a country where I had my last degree. I do have thoughts of going back home, going to help in my old institution or in institutions in Ghana, but I also felt like this will give me the leverage. If after a year I don't have any job, I can still be in the country. I won't be rushed home, or no one will tell me to go home. I also thought, as I always do, it won't be bad if I get the EB2 and still decide to go home. I lose nothing. But if I don't get the EB2 and I want to work and I have to go home, then it will be a case. So these are the motivations and the reasons why I applied, but it's also giving me the luxury to do whatever I want to do, take a break from my PhD program if I feel like I'm so tired and I can't continue, and still be in status. If I think, and it's not the case, but if I think my institution is not giving me a lot of money and I need to pause and work and get money in order to continue my education, it's an option now with the EB2 approval and probably a green card. So these are just a few of the luxuries you get with a EB2. And just as you said, getting a EB2, even when you are not willing to stay in the United States, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's not not everyone who apply for EB2 wants to stay in the country. They just need maybe a luxury of a year, a luxury of 2 years or 3 years to do something in the United States and return.
Yeah, at least just as I said, oh, the natural with answer.
Yeah.
You might never know. Yeah. So now you know the process, the route, the path to EV2. Is this something? Is it a service you offer to people? Do you have a website you'd want to share if people want to do EV2? Because somebody who is still on my OPC, maybe I would want to try that route. And if it's a service that you render, you can let us know, and the community will also want to get in touch. If anybody wants to get in touch in the EV2 route.
Yeah, I usually I'm free to chat with when I have the time. And so when you contact me, and I think I share this post, my name on Facebook is Emmanuel Lenin. If you want to ask any question as someone who is in the United States and who wants to know about the pathway, the ins and the outs, what you are supposed to do, I can be of help. There are also numerous YouTube videos on YB2 now that may be of importance to you. I do not apply for people. I just tell them what the application process is all about.
So how can people reach you? Can you share your social media platforms, or where how they can reach you? You
Yeah, I
said
think that,
Facebook, Emmanuel Enim. Do you have
yeah,
TikTok? Do you have Instagram? Do you have YouTube?
yeah, I think my Facebook is connected to my Instagram. My Instagram is also Emmanuel Lenin on Lenin, one of them. TikTok, maybe Emmanuel Lenin. Facebook is my love. Like I love Facebook. So if you send me a message on Facebook, I'm definitely going to see it and I'm going to respond to it.
Hey, the way you're saying Facebook, there, it's like your age is telling on, because already it's
Yes.
an
Yeah,
Oluman
yeah,
for the
yeah,
book.
yeah, yeah. I
Arabi,
may,
Arabi, what
I
do you
may
want
not.
to say? So don't
No,
silence my
no,
face,
no, no,
please.
no, no. In fact, I may not be what you want to say, but yeah, I may not be what you want to say. I may not be the age you want to guess, but yes, I
Because
love it. It's just a
Facebook,
first one.
yeah.
No,
I
the
mean,
reason
we
why I
all
have
love
not,
Facebook.
yeah, the
Hmm.
reason why I have not left Facebook is to TikTok is because I really want to be disciplined. I
Oh
can
yeah,
get addicted easily. And so, as Facebook has already married me, I want to stay with Facebook. I don't want to flirt. So that
yeah.
is it's
And TikTok is really
addictive.
addictive.
Hmm.
Jesus.
Hmm.
Before you realize, you spent 2 hours scrolling, doing nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was just looking at a video. Why have I
Hmm.
spent two hours
Yeah.
already? Yeah, so it's good. It's good you are sticking to your first wife. That's
Hmm.
Facebook.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Emmanuel. Okay, Ben, please take the lead.
All right. So it's good. Emmanuel is sticking to his first wife. That is from Arabi. And please, if you just join us, remember this is the Freddy Fed, the biggest study abroad podcast. Today we have Emmanuel, who is taking us through his journey. He started with no hope. He said he even didn't know what he was doing. But by the grace of God, as we are speaking now, with hard work, he is now in the third year of his PhD. He went to
In
US on his
Princeton, please
master's
add the school in
at
Princeton.
Princeton University, one of the Ivy League university in the United States. So that tells us the hard work Emmanuel has put in this whole process. In fact, and one thing I love about him from his statement was that he said hard work. In fact, when you work hard, it's easier for God to help you. And I think this one is going to stick with me throughout the year. My first my new resolution for the year. If you work hard, God is really going to help you. So please, if you just join us, try as much as possible to like and share the link. He's from Mankesim, so we want the people from Mankesim to know his story and to motivate them that no matter how things look like at the moment, they can also make it. The only thing is they don't have to give up on their dream. So this is our podcast for today. And in fact, it's an interesting story. Ima has said a lot of things. So I would advise you that make sure that after the session, you have time and then listen to it again, and you'll be able to get some hints that may support your application, God willing, next year. So, Ima, just a quick one. I want to know, what has been your greatest shock since you went to the state?
Greatest shock, greatest shock. Uh, I think many people may have said it, but eating in classroom and going to the library with food and water and even meeting water at the library is really something I never envisioned. I can remember when I went to UEW and I was going into the library and they were like, you can't take your water, you can't take your bag, you have to leave things here. But there was nothing like that. And I was like, okay, are we really safe here? But yeah, that has been my greatest shock. I can't recall anything. There are a lot of things that may not be normal, but they were probably not shocking me. But this is what I can remember that shocked me. When I saw it, I was like, "Is it normal?"
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
I think this reminds me of UCC. Arabi.
I bet. I bet.
I
I mean,
think
well,
that
well,
is event
track
greatest shock. Let's keep it
is
here.
is a lot when you get there in your first. It's like, okay. I remember I was in class and like they won't even raise their hand to ask a question. They will just barge in, ask a question. Sometimes their left hand. I'm like, how dare you ask a UCC professor question with your left hand? They crazy. You and your question will run away from the class. But there's a lot of things. But as you go or as you age here, you realize that Kelly, it's not a big deal like that. Our professors are our friends. They are our friends. We should have that relationship with them. But your story is interesting,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud of you. I'm super, super, super proud of you. What you have done for yourself, what you have achieved, the pathway EB2 that you have gone. I mean, EB, did you do it yourself? Let me be asking you this. You did it yourself,
No, I
the
did it.
EB2. Okay. Regardless, having even the qualifications to do this EB2 is a big deal for an international student. Speaking from my experience also as an international student, and some people don't even want to dare it in the first place because one is it's Canadian, it's costly, and you might not have some of us who didn't do all these publications and all of that. We don't even know where to start from. So doing everything, having this publication, even from your first year, having that foresight to do whatever it takes to go the EB route is such a good thing for an international student. And I am super, super, super proud of you.
Yeah, what I would say is it's doable. I'm not a superhero. I'm just the normal everyday Emmanuel. It's doable. It's about who you speak to, what you see, what you are willing to do. And just as I have said, we should note it. You don't have to wait for an opportunity. You would have to create yourself to fit into an opportunity so that when opportunity comes, you don't miss it. That is why we say opportunity comes but once. So if you are not prepared for that opportunity, you are definitely going to miss it. So I'm young, many young ones out there, the elderly ones out there, older ones out there. Please just prepare for what is ahead, even when you don't know, and that becomes very easy for you to fit in. I don't think I could have had this story if I went to UEW, and my story is not like Arabi. If I had gone to UEW and not make it, I wouldn't have gotten to become a TA. I wouldn't have gotten to speak with Agama, who was needing help at the time. I wouldn't have gotten to hear about any study abroad section. So it was just about doing things I didn't know what the outcome would be. So just put in the work so hard.
Work
Interesting.
so hard. Ben, do you have any concluding things to say, or we have more stuff to talk about?
Yeah, I think Ima, do you still have some time?
So I do have that sometime. It's Saturday and
Oh, okay. So please, you can drop your question in the comment box, and Ima will be willing to answer it A for us. And then if you want to join us live too, we will share the link, and then you can join us live to ask any question that you want. So Ima, as we are waiting for the questions of our viewers today, we just want to know, from masters to PhD or in the United States, what challenges did you encounter and how were you able to overcome it?
I think the challenge, the only biggest challenge I've had to deal with, was coming to the United States a bit late because I have already stated my date was extended, but the school wasn't extended. So I came having my colleagues study a week or two before my arrival, and I had to make up for all the writing assignments. I had to adjust in the middle of classes. That was very difficult. I have had supportive parents I can speak with every day for at least 2 hours and cry to them and tell them it's not difficult. And they'll be like, you've always said it's not difficult, but you're able to do it by God's grace. Push forward. My parents have been supportive, but that was the biggest challenge for the first month. It was very, very difficult. I have this weird story of coming to the United States, not having a place to sleep. I slept with Prince for a couple of days. I moved to stay with some Nigerians. They said, okay, we can't keep you here. It wasn't because I wasn't having money. It was just because there were no accommodation. And even if there were accommodations, they needed two people and I was just one. So moving around for the first month, and also while moving around, I was also having to complete unfinished assignment that had been done while I wasn't there. So that was the difficult part, but I also think that strengthened me. That made me feel like I'm not here to relax. So that started me up with a lot of hard work, and that took me through. Apart from that, have I had any challenge? Cried. Maybe they are very minimal. I don't really recall. But the first, yes, Arabi. I began by saying my story is a bit different. It's just like when I'm Nabeto nowadays, course, so it hasn't really been that of a struggle. It's been that of hard work and by God's grace. Yeah,
Yeah, so I recently read that some group of teachers in some country, in a particular country, wants to go on strike just because for 12 months they've not been paid. In a
yeah,
particular country, I don't want to mention the name.
yeah.
Do you
Sorry.
think they have to consider study abroad?
We are really sorry about their circumstances and what they have to go through. But study abroad is always open. The US application system is not limited to any nation. If you think you have the credentials, if you think you can even put in hard work, if your credentials are not that good, just consider studying outside. It's not just about the United States, it's about Canada. I have a friend in Canada who is doing well as I am doing over here. I have people in Europe who are also doing well just as I am doing here. Just look for a place. If you really want to be an academic, if you really want to do a master's, if you really want to do your undergraduate, find the available spots. Try to get in.
Interesting. Try to get in. There are available spots. Try and get in. If you think you are struggling in your home country, as simple as ABCD. Let's pick some questions. So this is from Tavia. Mr. Ben, please, can you still apply for undergraduate studies during this time and also later submit your SAT? You might want to touch on this.
Yes, you can put in the application. You may get admission without an SAT, and when you get your admission, you can submit that document. It may be considered. You can also put in the application, work on your SAT, get it. If you don't get fully funded program, next window, apply again. And undergraduate education, I know Fred has said this over and over again. They have this portal where you apply to multiple schools without even paying anything. So it's doable. You must do it. Just put in the hard work. Most of the young ones who are coming from SHS feel like it's easy. It's not. And it's not for you, the young one. It's not for the one who is coming to do masters, and it's not for the one who is coming to do PhD. You have to be prepared because many people will drop it along the way.
Interesting. Thank you for your response. This is from Anthony. Please, what are some of the strategies to overcome some of the application questions, because some are quite confusing?
Uh, uh, you would have to ask. It's because of the context. I don't know if it's a question about gender or something that is not very peculiar to Ghana. You would have to ask. You can ask a friend who is already in the United States. And I think by now everyone in Ghana should have a friend who is in the United States or a friend's friend who is in the United States. Ask. I will be for in crying. If you ask, you are not going to get missing. So do ask. If you don't have anyone immediate or close to you, you can send an email to a professor. He's going to respond to you. Or admission committee. We even, I think Arabi had a posting. WIU, he was assistant applicants. They ask them questions and they respond to them. We have such officers in some universities. Look out for those officers. Ask those questions. I don't think there is a question that should prevent you from applying.
Yeah, interesting. And I'm sure like the UK now, I think most of the US universities are also trying to get some agents to support in the application.
Yeah.
So what it means is that if you encounter any problem, you can easily link up with those agents. That is, if the university has has those agents in place, you can consult them and then they can. And as Iman said, no matter how confusing the question is, ask. You know, if you ask, you will definitely get an answer, because your question is such that we can't give you a direct and a straightforward answer. So we just have to go by that. So if we're able to know the question, then we can really give you the answer maybe you might need. But irrespective of that, please try and then ask. And I'm sure you definitely get an answer, no matter how confusing the question is. Okay, so this is from Alawo. So
Yeah.
that's Raymond. So he's saying that, what do you do when you have admission without scholarship? Raymond
That's
Kumase.
So, Raymond, I think this question has been answered by the Fred effect, and he has a video on it. We have multiple ways to go about this. One is what I did. My department did not give me the funding just because I didn't apply. I don't know even if I would have gotten it if I had applied. But we have other departments in the university that are very neutral, like the writing center, which you can apply to, like where Arabi worked, which you can apply to, the rec center, which you can apply to. Those are options that are available for you to explore when you don't have scholarship as part of your admission. You would also be able to speak with your department. I know someone who didn't have a scholarship but was able to argue with the department. Tell the department I'll be very important, even though I don't have the grades now. When I come, I can do well. And they ended up giving him, maybe they were frustrated by his constant questioning and emails. They ended up giving him a partial funding, which allowed him to get funding and was able to go through the visa process easily. So, consistency. Ask, ask, ask. Look for other areas in the university where, or department in the university where funding is neutral. You don't have to belong to a particular department before you get that funding. These are avenues you can look at. But as I was saying, Fred has a question on that, a video on that.
Oh, okay, interesting. Thank you for your response once again. Think we lost Arabi Beshi is back. Please ask Emmanuel to tell us about some of the questions he was asked during his visa interview in Ghana. Do you still remember?
Yeah, so those questions are the normal everyday questions we hear people talk about. Why are you here? What are you going to do in the United States? Who is going to fund your program? What are you going to do after your program? These are the basic questions that they do ask when you go for a visa interview. There may be some specific questions, but I think they asked me all the four questions and I responded to them because they know we know the questions. It's just your facials. So one of the things I learned was to look directly into the visa officer's eye when I'm talking, because that is their custom in the United States. They only believe you are telling the truth if you are looking direct into their eyes. If you are looking somewhere, they feel like this person is trying to lie or cut corners. So yeah, they are everyday questions. You just have to know how to say them, how long to communicate, how short to communicate, your facials, and that is it. So these are the questions I was asked. Who was funding you? What will you be doing? And I'm part of the people who they ask, what will you be doing after your program? Yes.
So
So
you're part
what's
of
your
people who said I'll be coming back to take
I didn't.
higher
In
positions.
fact, I said I'm part of the people who they asked, but I didn't say what I said. So please don't say it for me. I beg you, don't. I beg you, don't say
I'll
it.
be I'll be
Don't
coming
complete
back to
it.
take
No,
higher.
you don't know. Don't complete it because you don't know what I said. So please, let's be nice to each other.
Okay, okay. I
so
promise. I'll not
you was
complete it.
the interview one touch?
Yeah, it was one touch, and I can still envision. I went with my mom, and I can still.
It's like you
Ooh.
are still hiding something. What did you think it made your application stand out?
Do I
Because
think means that?
the reason why I'm asking this is that it's like from the intro you said you are not really prepared, but it's
Mhm.
like everything is just working out for you smoothly. So
Yeah, that's why I
what's
said in
the
the
secret?
beginning. We have some people who have stories like this where it's like so straight. Maybe our hardest one haven't happened yet, but we pray it
No,
never
no,
It
happens.
never
it's like
happened.
you didn't
It never
struggle.
happens.
Oh. You didn't struggle.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a story of struggle. It was a story of like uh God's help, like God being there and God's grace. Like that is my story. I went into the interview room.
Did you
I
go? Did you go? The assistantship was it full scholarship?
And so that is the funny thing. When I was leaving, I had a 75% scholarship. I got to Western Illinois after a semester. I got a full funding. After that year, I applied for an internal scholarship, and I got that internal scholarship. So I completed having the school owe me, and I took that money.
Wow.
So I went in with a 75, not full, but I completed with having the school owing me. And I remember I took that money. I took it from them because it was my money. But
No,
so that is how.
we'll come to that. So let's see. How many percentage did you take for the scholarship for the visa interview?
Yeah, so I took 75%, and I think I was supposed to, or is it half? I was supposed to pay 1,400. I was supposed to show $1,400. Hey, no, 14,000. How have
Fourteen
you guys?
thousand dollars
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
get.
$14,000
Oh,
as
okay.
the money I have. So that was what I took for my to my visa interview.
Oh, okay. And it was just
And
successful. The visa
and
interview
how
went.
much did you take from the yeah, he did give me my share, why?
Oh no, I took it was a 500 because I had gotten a scholarship of is it
Mm,
2,000 something, and I didn't owe a lot. What I owed was insurance, right? Because I was also having full.
yeah.
So now
Insurance.
let's tell us what happened that you were able to secure those other scholarships.
Yeah, so when I got in, I think by God's grace and also by my hard work, I was able to convince them. And it's funny because first semester 75%, second semester for second year about to start, and they said the university was not having money, they are cutting people off. And they wrote to
Mm,
me, oh, we have to prioritize the English students, and so we may have to let you go. Then I wrote to my advisor, this is what they are saying, and I think the department has money, the history department. Can I get it? They did back and forth. They said, okay, we are going to give you the 75. But before the semester started, I also had 50. I also had 100%. The additional 15% was added. They had this departmental scholarship for whatever they call it. I don't know
mm.
whether it's needy but bright or something, but there was a department scholarship for graduate students, and I did apply. So when I applied, I got it, and that is
So
what I took the
so
rest of.
what advice do you have for someone who has admission now with no funding?
So the advice I will have for you is to constantly speak with your program director and make let them know, your HOD, your graduate director, let them know, there are other departments in the universities that may have funding, and so if there is any opportunities like that, they should put you on. Sometimes they don't even know, but if you talk to them about it, they may go and look out for it. Okay, this person is saying this is here. Do you think we can bring a student? And they may do it. Arabi, I know that you weren't working for your department, you were working for the international office, right?
No, I was
And the
working for
dining hall.
Rest Life,
Yeah, yeah.
so like the housing department.
The housing department. Yeah, so they have, and that was full funded, right? Fully
Hmm.
funded. Yeah, so they have these departments that are not attached to
Your
uh
faculty.
your faculty or department, but you can still get a full ride with them. I know people worked with the international office, people worked with the rec center, and they were
Hmm.
fully funded.
People even work with a veteran resource center and they were fully funded. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, sometimes I think you might not even get funding from your department, but it doesn't mean you will not get the funding. Explore other options. There are a lot of campus offices that have funding. So uh, obviously some of these campuses, some of these departments prioritize certain programs, but it wouldn't hurt you to ask them if they would give you the funding, because sometimes they have the funding but they don't have the qualified students to give the funding to. So just ask. Just as I said, your email should be on point. Ask, communicate. You might never know. The worst they can tell you is a no. After the no, what else? Nothing. But what if you get a yes? That changed your whole story, because Sally, having funding as an international student
It's a deal.
changes everything.
It's a
Changes
deal.
everything. As somebody who has been in a school with no funding and moved to full funding, the difference is clear, my dear. You would strive for full funding. So
Okay.
just continue
That's
asking the question.
yeah, that's an interesting one. So please, this is a for Kron. So if I've gotten admission without a scholarship, don't give up yet. Try other
You can give about,
options,
let me say,
and
let me give some offices. You can ask the residence life or the residential education office. You can go to the veteran resource center. You can go to the rec center or your campus recreational center. You can ask the what this faculty perform thing.
so Arabi, can we do this whilst back home, or we have to get to the state before we can ask those people?
No. You can do
Okay.
this back home. You can start it back home and complete it when you get to the United States, so that you can go to their offices physically. But before that, you have sent emails back home so they know the person they are expecting when you walk into the office. Do you get it? Just as Emmanuel said, like your name is ringing a bell in their ears. When you walk to the office, it's okay. My name is Audrey, and I sent an email. Oh, Audrey, you have sent me. We have a couple of your emails, and be persistent. Sometimes persistence, it's annoying, but you should be strategic with being persistent as well, because sometimes they have the funding, but there are a lot of students who need the funding. So what will make you outstanding? Why should they give it to you, this particular person? Sometimes it might not even be because you're the best candidate among them. It's because you're just persistent. It's because your name has been ringing a bell in their ears. It's because there is somebody in the room vouching for you or rooting for you. So please, as there are a lot of campus partners or departments that can give you funding, mostly full outside your faculty. So please explore.
Yeah, thank you for letting us do. And please, if you are in year 4 and not yet done with undergrad, can you start application for masters?
Yes, you can start application for masters. You would have to first get your transcripts, uh whether it's the original. No, I think you should get the one from the school, so it may have from first year to third year second semester, if you have a school that is persistent with putting your grades into the system, because I know in Ghana you also have schools where you would have to graduate before they start thinking about how to input
Hmm.
your grades into the system. But if you have a school, or you are at a school where you have all your grades up to date, you can use that. To start your application, you tell them that you are graduating this time, and you will submit your final uh, transcripts to them when you are done with school. Some schools are going to allow you. What you miss in that process is you will miss your national service, because application started from August, September, October, November, December. Will go through to January. The results are going to come around February, March, April, June. You start school in August or September, October, some late September, but August, September. So when you apply, you would have to wait for a year. And that means when you complete your school, you can't do your national service. August, September would be there and you would have to travel. So you miss your national service. If you are like some of us who would want to work in Ghana sometime in the future or someday in the future, then you can't work in Ghana because you didn't do your national service, or you would have to then do your national service. So that is the only disadvantage of moving straight from the from Ghana to the United States to do your program, but it is possible you can do it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Um, I'm currently about entry into my final year. Can I apply with my current 3 years GPA? Okay, I think it's almost the same question. Please, Mr. Emmanuel, would you recommend someone holding a bachelor degree in history to apply for a PhD, provided the individual has a strong historical reserve background?
Yes, I am at Princeton with two West Africans, one from Ghana who came directly with a bachelor's degree. So it's possible. You have to have a strong application, and if you want to do undergraduate to PhD, you would have to study the system, know what you need, because you cannot just submit anything for a PhD application. It's possible, but it needs a lot of work.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's take this one. Arabi, would you like to read the question so that I can figure out some few ones?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
But I think my video is paused, Anna.
Yeah, a video is paused.
Yeah,
Yes.
your
I don't
video
know
is paused,
how.
your voice is
I don't
not
know.
paused. Okay, with Miss Arabi.
No,
Is
I
this
can
the
I can read it. I can read it, so you can look out for another question. But
okay?
it's as please. I have been able to secure a full ride. I have been may be able to secure a full ride interview next year, January, but I'm a bit nervous about how the scholarship interview goes. Can you give some insight about it? So if you have a full ride, I don't know if the Fred Effect is still doing the mock interviews, but the Fred Effect had a mock interview. I served as one of the interviewers, I think, during my time at Western Illinois for the 2 years. And we helped a number of students go through that interview process. That's probably the reason why many people know the name Emmanuel Nonenenin. But yes, the Freddy Fet is there to assist you to take you through it, and I think they still do it. Probably on TikTok or something. Yeah, when I was leaving, they were moving it to TikTok, so it is still done. When you go there, you will get answers and accurate answers to some of these questions. Maybe not accurate, but convincing answers to some of these questions that you are scared of or scared about how to go about answering them. But yes, and Fred
I
mentioned
think
that.
I think this one. I think this one. He is trying to refer to. He's going for a scholarship interview, not visa interview.
Oh, a scholarship interview. Oh,
Yes.
sorry, I misread it. So scholarship interview, what you would have to do is to make sure if you know the background of these supervisors, just read about their background, read about the school. One thing I tell people is take interviews as conversation. If you take an interview as a conversation, it takes away the pressure from you, just as having a conversation with a friend. Be normal, because what I've learned from the United States and throughout my life is it's not about the strength of what you said, the intellectual weight of what you said, but how you were able to articulate it and your facials. That is what gets you into it. So people have all the information, they go and they stumble and they stammer and they are not able to say it, and then they lose. So it's not about even the contents. Just know about the professor, know about the school, know about yourself. Try to be able to convince them. If you think you have the strength, you can defend what you have in your SOP, CV. You can define what you have. The next important thing is how to communicate and how to communicate. And what I usually say is, you don't need to learn communication from anywhere. If you know how to start a conversation, use that. We are here, and we are just talking. We are not looking at anything. It's just what I know that I'm saying. If I don't know, I can just tell them I don't know. You don't want to go tell an interviewer you don't know, but just be free. Have this conversation as if they are a friend, they are a professor you know already, and you are having a chat. So that is how what I would tell you. Read about the school, read about the professors interviewing you, read about what you want to do. But that may not even be the case. How you communicate may be the case.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
Arabi, do you want to touch
sorry,
on
yeah.
this?
I went. I mean, I'm having a lecture. I'm like, okay, yes. Let me touch on the interview session for
Yes.
funding. It's not a pity party. I always tell people, you're not going there to tell them my mother sells KK and we don't have money, so say please give me this. No, no, no. Go and sell yourself. What are you bringing on? Because they are not doing you a favor by giving you the assistantship. They want something also from you. So how do you also manage your time? What are you bringing on board? What skills do you have? Go sell yourself when it comes to these scholarship interviews. It is not a pity party. Koho said they should have mercy on you and give you scholarship. No, they are not for the Christmas. Maybe Ben is, but they are not. So so go there. Please sell yourself. Articulate your thoughts. Your what do you think makes you outstanding? Go and tell them. Go and sell yourself when it comes to this. Don't slack. I'm not saying go and lie, but amplify your strength when you get to the interview and make it conversational. And these people, they don't ask what is question. Sometimes it's scenario, sometimes it's just normal. Tell us about yourself. It's not Babadi or ChatGPT answers they're going to give them. Just be fluent, flow, and they are going to understand you. If your accent is not the same as theirs, don't try to fake accents. For they won't even understand. So be true to yourself. Be authentic with your accent. Be authentic with your skills. What you think you're going to bring on board, and do not slack. Sell yourself and leave. I don't know what you're going to do, but just leave a lasting impression. If it's something that you see that was going to make them laugh, something that at the end of the day it can be outstanding because oh, at the end of the day, this is what we've got from Audrey's interview. So that if they are ranking or something, they will use that to rank you maybe higher. So please, if you have an interview, I wish you all the best. Being nervous is normal because it's your first time, but know that it's not a pity party. They need something from me, and they have seen that you have that thing. That is why they have even extended an interview to you in the first place. So please believe in yourself. Get the vim and go there and conquer it. I trust that who has a question? GHS. I trust that the school has seen something in you. That's why they extended this to you. So go out there and shine. I wish you all the best.
Yeah,
One
thank
thing,
you for your response. Okay.
one addition is the outcome of the interview should not slow your study abroad journey. It's not because you are not good, it's because you may not be a fit. I'm telling exciting stories, interesting stories, but I applied to it's a seven or something schools. I didn't get all of them. For my PhD, I didn't get all of them. But does that mean I'm not good? It doesn't. So interview outcomes do not tell who you are. Just continue, fight hard. You are going to get it.
All right,
And
interesting.
and
So one
sometimes
more
even
thing.
after I can't remember. Sometimes even
Yes.
after this interview, the school realize that they don't have money. So they won't give anybody the funding. It's not because they are not good. It's because the funding that the school was looking forward to, they didn't get. So it has nothing to do with it sometimes. Because I did an interview for a job stage. After that, I got it. But I think a week later, they said, and it was around university. I was going for my a work, a job after my master's. After 1 week, they said they don't have money because they were also expecting some money, and that was when the government cut brown funding, and they couldn't pay. So it wasn't because I wasn't a fit or I wasn't good, but it was because the school didn't have money. What can I do? So please don't look down on yourself if you don't get the opportunity. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the school. So don't let it influence the next decisions or anything.
Interesting. So I think one more thing I'll add to this is that always prepare for at least two questions that you would want to ask, because usually after the interview, the last question will be, do you have any question for us? So please try and then get at least two strong questions relating to whatever area they're going to interview you and ask. That shows how you are prepared and ready and interested in whatever interview that is going on. Don't go and say, I don't have any questions for you. So that is an opportunity for you also to interview the interviewer, and it's part of the process. It's very important. So kindly take note of that. Okay. So gradually we'll be ending, but we still want to pick at least 5 more questions and then we are good to go. Okay, so this is a free information from Daniel. So Daniel is saying that Georgia Washington University is waiving their application fee until January 2026 because he attended their free session. That's where he got to know that they are waiving application fee. So you can also consider, because Emmanuel applied to a free school, right?
Yeah, I
And
did. I did.
yes, and here he is now in the United States. So take advantage of the free applications and you won't regret. All right, I think I need to show this for you to know, because Richard is saying that, oh, Ima is an intelligent guy by all standards. Thanks for the insight. So
Thank you very much for that.
if for nothing else, I'm sure today you've touched the heart of Richard, and he just wants to show appreciation for that. And then this one too is from Isaac. He says, thank you very much for the response, Emmanuel. So it means that Isaac too was much convinced based on the response that you gave. I think, but well, since it's a question, let's try and see, Ima. It says that how many schools did you apply for both the PhD and masters?
For my master's, I applied to, and we were doing things with no formula. So you just have to hear that this school is free for me. So I applied to a couple of schools. I did. In the United States, I applied to just Western Illinois and Harvard. But in UK, I applied. I don't know the number, but I know I got into 3 in UK, and I got into 1 in Wageningen. One I know I got denial is, I think, also in Netherlands. There is a school who denied us, and that is, I think, the only denial I've gotten. It's either you get it conditionally or you get it without conditions but partial funding. But Wageningen, we just, I think, all of us, we just collected lashes. So it's normal. In PhD, I applied to 7. I got into 3, and Princeton was definitely my choice. So it's not because I am too good. We have many people who also get into 3. We have many people who apply and they are very good, but they don't get into any. It's not about that. It's being strategic, and that is what I have always said.
Interesting. Okay, let me quickly correct this one. So what Daniel is saying is that you have to attend the session on 6th
January.
January before you can get the application waiver code. That is the name of the university again is
I think it's George Washington something.
yeah, George Washington University. Is that the name of the university?
Yeah, Georgia Washington University.
Georgia Washington University. Thank you. So they have session on 6th January. If
Information
you're able to
session
join,
coming up.
yes, be sure that you can get the application fee waiver. Who knows? Maybe that is where your scholarship is coming from. So try and join, and then
My
get
first
the.
school, or the school that got me here, is a free application. So
Oh, okay.
I'm
You
also
also
for.
use free application, right?
Hmm.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so Arabi, please, can you read this question?
It says, so Emmanuel, can I still apply for master's degree with my HND? Because I got rejected from about five schools in the States. The thing too is every program coordinator gives me the green light to apply to.
Yeah, so I think Fred has a video on this, and I've been in the United. I was in the United States before Fred started doing the videos, and he said it. Or he not started before Fred started, but I have always made time to watch Fred's videos, and I know what Fred has discussed. And this is one of the things Fred has discussed: applying with an HND. It's possible people get into it with HND, but I didn't go through that route. I don't have anyone who has gone through that route. I can't speak about it, but it's possible. Get the video on the HND, watch it, and yeah. But any of the
I think a lot of schools used to accept HND, but now the thing is, the scholarship climate is competitive. It's so competitive. So people are doing their coming in with bachelors and all of that. So I'm not saying the HND cannot get you into it, but know that now the admission scholarship climate is very competitive. So if you had scholarship to give out and somebody has HND, somebody has degree, all other things being equal, who are you going to give your funding to? So I'll just leave it there. So it's not that it's not possible, but it's highly competitive.
Interesting. It's highly competitive. So please, gradually be coming to an end of the show. So if today's session has been very educative and insightful, you can give us a thumbs up in the comment box. And remember, as you're doing that, you automatically qualify to be part of the draw. And if you're lucky, you can become the TFE mentee of the week, whereby the team will be mentored. And I'm sure since Emmanuel is free, maybe he can mentor you to you also move to the United States. So Yuma, what we do is that at the end of the session, if you comment and then if you like the show, you automatically qualify to be part of the draw. And then if you become a winner, the Fred Effect team mentors you throughout the study abroad process until you become successful. So maybe probably you'll be able to take the winner for the day, right?
yeah. I may be able to.
Sure. You might be able to take the winner of the day. So please give us a thumbs up if you have really enjoyed today's section. And then don't forget to share the link as usual. So gradually we are coming to an end of the show. Arabi, is
Yeah,
there
it's been an
any
insightful
all right.
another session of the Fed Effect podcast, and I'm so privileged to be a co-host today. I believe and I know that everybody who tuned in has been impacted one way or the other with Emmanuel's story. It's been a story of hard work, grace of God, and consistency. Just as he said, the journey is not easy, but it's possible and it's worth it at the end of the day. So if you are still here, you haven't maybe you start and then you relax or you get disappointed along the way. Please keep on keeping on. And he also laid emphasis on the fact about communication. So please communicate with the program coordinators, your international office, and they are going to help you if they have the means to support you in making sure that your transition is very smooth. And again, please follow me on all social media platforms. My TikTok is Arabi or Audrey for you Aminsa. My Instagram is RB for you Aminsa. Facebook RB for you Aminsa. Please don't do Twitter because I use my Twitter for banter, even though I've repented. So please, TikTok. If you want study abroad, TikTok. If you want politics, then follow me on Twitter. But please follow me on TikTok on RB for you Aminsa for more insightful conversation on study abroad. Study abroad is not for the rich. It's not for the privileged alone. It's not for anybody. It's for whoever puts in the work. One thing about America is the level they give you that level grounded platform. So what you have to do is to take advantage and put in the work. By the grace of God, it has worked for some of us. So we pray that it works for you as well if you put in the work and you rely on God, you pray. As a Christian, I'm coming from a Christian background, so you pray and you commit the journey into the hands of God. So thank you for joining again. If you are in the UK, US, Canada, the European countries, please download Lemfi,
Lemfi.
LEMFI, and then send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Rwanda, Cameroon, Senegal, and other supporting African countries with my code ARABE, ARABEE. Thank you for watching today,
Ravi,
and I'll leave it for
how
Ben.
much do I have to send to Ghana before I can get the £20?
Which country are you?
UK.
I think UK is 150, but
150.
I think 150 or 250.
Hey,
I'll
Arabi, I'm
I'll
not
get that
sure.
for you. But US for the Yenya to fall out just 100. Hey, 100 is not just more, but
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, like if Fred gives me $100 like this right now, or if Fred dashes somebody in the comment section $100, Fred will get $20 cash back. That was just by the way. But if you please download Lemfi and use my code ARABE, ARABEE. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Christian, Fred, you wanna come in?
Yeah, very particular about people. Most of the people watching us, because they are home, they have to tell their family members that to send money home is easier. They can simply download the Lemfi on their phone, and no need for transportation or to go to a grocery shop or go to the bank. On their phone, they can send money directly to you on your bank account. If you have a Momo number, they can send directly to it so that it wouldn't be stressful, and it's easy as well. It's a trusted brand, and if they download it, they should use the code ARABEE. Christian is saying good presentation from Emmanuel Lenin. He's a solid guy. Iman is a solid guy, right? I tell
No,
you.
Christian, thank you very much. You've been here from the start, and he's already in the United States, so that is what we all should learn. You don't abandon the process after getting into the United States. I worked with Fred for a couple of years before becoming stubborn. So just be part of the process. We never stop learning. One thing, I don't know if I will get the opportunity to talk again, but one thing I want to say is, because of the bans on African countries, Ghana is going to get a lot of opportunity to come to the United States. We are going to get a lot of admissions because we are not competing with Nigeria anymore. We are not competing with other countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and all that. So you should take the opportunity now. You should take this as a new 2020 with new limitations, and you can make it.
Ima somewhere they never say can you say the bay in Nigeria for 90. And this is
They know, they know, they
Obi,
know,
Obi,
they know we didn't ban them. They know, they really know we didn't ban them.
yeah, so what yeah, some I person can you say, obi edwan ewu no obi nkwan so mu ayede. Nti yɛnka sɛ puduo nhyio na mmom ahyɛ ne deɛ yɛbɛdi n'adwo nti sɛ wotie a US aban no de ban bi ato other countries so ɛpa kyerɛ sɛ ɛnsɛ sɛ wobɛtie the negative side sɛ and sɛ process no mu ayɛ den ɛpa kyerɛ sɛ opportunity mo ma ba ama wo ka hu sɛ at any point in time na ɔman biara sesa ne nneɛma mu ɛna nsesaeɛ no yɛwɔ ne positive side yɛwɔ ne negative side wo a woyɛ study abroad ne deɛ for what they to positive side no so study abroad by ne emu bi yan woye ya wo ya ma study abroad wo next year applications amount for beba next 2 years next 3 years nti wo na ese wo take step no ya wa amount for bu ha omuntu kwan da omunya study abroad ne bi da wo ka wa asem kire omo essence of pese wo ne wo the same skill nti obeka cho se wo ya enye yi wo CGPA ne low wo niska ensem bebre but the American say these countries mostly are not money compete for slot. They say say nyame adomo say bonsam adomo they are no more into take advantage of it and utilize it. You might
Yen-
that's by nyame.
Yenim ebredodo ebedi anso ma restore mo and
Mhm,
omo babio.
mhm.
Inti, as I said, time is very important. It may be now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Especially COVID time by you can see COVID from a negative perspective. But again, a boy must study abroad no mu yi never be brief you GRE near the other. Until be a base and there's a positive side of it. And for me, I would always want to look at the positive side of life. Right. Um we, we've done like almost 2 hours and I'm always grateful. we've not had opportunity to meet one-on-one. Yeah, we've
That's
had
true.
long conversations for years and stuff like that. So I appreciate that you came to share your experience to energize and encourage our brothers and sisters who are from the same places we are from, who also want to do this.
Yeah, so I want to finally say thank you to everyone who joined, and congratulations to Ben. I saw that you recently graduated, and that's a feast. A feat we have to feast. So yeah, and I would want to make mention to the Frimpong family, which have been very supportive. My own family and every other person, my aunties in the United States, friends and family who are always there for me and who I can call. Thank you very much to the Fred Effect and Fred himself. Even when I came to Princeton, I sent him a message. Fred, I want to go renew my visa. What should I do? And he connected me to someone. So as I said, we don't burn bridges when we are done crossing. Otherwise, we may not go back. So yeah, always keep that contact. It may be important sometime.
Thank you so thank thank you so much, Ima, for your time. In fact, it has been a very insightful section, and we really appreciate it. Aravi, thank you so much, and we are ready to learn fire. Okay, just that the
Please
word you
learn
say is
fine.
too much. All right.
We are praying
No,
for
no,
you.
you might mention how people can get in touch with him. I saw in the comment section, Ima, did you mention how people could get in touch with you? Like LinkedIn?
Yeah, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I have seen people send LinkedIn as a connections.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook, Emmanuel Enin. I know I'm on TikTok, but because I am just trying to be nice and trying to uh, be in my lane, I don't usually go there. But Nanenin or Emmanuel Enin should lead you to my account. So if you want to connect, but I'm always willing to assist people who are serious. If you come and I realize you are not serious, I'm not going to respond to your message again, because you can't tell me you don't have a laptop and you have a phone and you cannot get a laptop. Like, it doesn't sink well in my head. And so if you are not serious, I can't help. I can just give you the information. But yeah.
Yeah, and that leads me to Nana Kojo Asante. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sure he's a grown man. Thank you for tuning in too. So your son has a first class. That is okay. You shouldn't share your number here, right? We have a way we use to help such people. And just like Emmanuel mentioned, the first class alone, it's not everything. I've had opportunity to work with a lot of first class students, and because they seem to know everything, they forget that the study abroad process is also different, and they think that everything is about the CGPA or the transcript. So, Anana Kojo Asante, you can link up with us with the Fred Effect team, and anybody who wants to talk to us. We are not only sharing information, we are also stretching our hands to hold your hands to help you. And so send us a message on Instagram. If you go to Instagram, just search for the Fred Effect. It's a verified account. We have almost 30,000 family members. We've been doing this for years, so the experience is there. Just send us a message. Just send us your document. If you have a transcript, if you've done with high school and you want to send us your results, we'll be happy to assist you from there. So the name is the Fred Effect on Instagram. That's the only way you can get in touch with us. We are not on Telegram. We are not on any other platform. It's either Instagram. That's the only means you can send us a message, and we'll be happy to respond. All right, Ima, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you, bro.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
All right.
Bye bye.
All right.
Yeah.
Any
So
final
I
words?
Good.
okay, Aravi, you can speak. Any final?
Oh, final. No, I learn fine. Please download learn fine. Fear. Catch up with some for more betray. Someone download the learn fine. No more using the code RAB ARABE. Na ọmụ mfanse lista bronye ọmụ mpɛ kakra mma nyame ayɛ adom mpɛ kakra na ɔmo de kakra nso brɛ wo a be grateful ɛnyɛ afei na wobɛtwe phone ato anim aka sɛ na me wɔ fa wɔ aburokyire 2 million pɛ na ɔsɛ wode 2 million wode mmerɛ ade kurom hɔ wobɛbrɛ so 2 million.
Yeah.
So
So
that was
that
just that. Please download Lemfi, use my code RD. Thank
yeah,
you.
that's the code. It's
And please follow me on all social media platforms, RB for you Mensa or OG for you Mensa. I'd really appreciate it, especially on TikTok. Thank you.
all right. If you're wondering how to spell the Lemfi, I'm sharing it. It's LEMFI. It's the short form of Lemonade Finance, and then the code you're going to use It's Arebee. Thank you so much, Arabi, for joining today. All right.
Yeah,
Ben, any
so
final words?
yeah. I have a Christmas bonus for everyone who joined us today. So, um, with the little experience I have so far, I think I just want to make life simple. So, those of us who have been in mathematics class before, you know this kind of simultaneous equation. We have one with three set problems, so you can be asked to find x, y, z. Now, this is what I want to say. Life is like that kind of simultaneous equation. There are three things that move together that at any point in time, if you mix one, there's going to be a problem. So the three of them should move simultaneously. And if you're able to put them together, you're going to find solution to any life problem. And I'm going to share that. So the first one you need, and it doesn't mean that you don't need the two ones. They are all simultaneous. You need them at the same time. So one thing that I want to share, that if in 2026 you move with this mindset, everything is going to be okay for you, is you need God in the equation. Very, very important. Then you need yourself in the equation. Then you need others. Please, I'm very passionate about this because the life that we struggle sometimes, when people are sharing their stories, for instance, if you had listened to this story from the start, you realize that what changed the story of Emmanuel is the fact that his friend in Denmark called him and told him that, Charlie, life abroad is on a different standard. And that one alone motivated him and it changed his life. And you realize that throughout his conversation, he didn't also ignore God. So that tells you how spiritual things also matters when it comes to issues of life. And then the next thing that you need is yourself. Please, if you're able to have time to develop these three things, if you're able to have time to develop your relationship with God, if you have time to develop your personal self, if you have time to develop friendship, trust me, there is nothing that you want to do in this life that you can never do, because these are the secrets. This is what we need. If you're able to understand these things, if you dedicate at least the 2-3 days ahead of you to understand these three things, trust me, anything that you see undoable is going to be doable. This is the trick. Fine, you can have God, you can have friends, and trust me, things might not go on the way you want. And you can have yourself, you can have God, but if you don't have people to push you, you are going to struggle. And you can have God, you can have yourself, but if you don't, you can have others, you can have God, but if you yourself, you don't develop yourself, you can never go anywhere. So at a point whereby you can develop yourself, you can develop a good relationship with God, and you're able to develop good friendship, trust me, life will become as easier as you have ever think of. So this is what I have for you. If you take it now and take this to 2026, I'm sure all the struggles you're going through will going to be the thing of the past. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
So thinking of making life easier. So when you join the section, if you are new here, what we do every single week is that it's not enough just telling people what to do, but also to hold their hands and help them to go through the process. The Fred Effect team, just like Emmanuel was somewhere 2021, and that was even our third or fourth batch or so. So we continue to assess people. If you join this live session, we make a draw based on the comment, the likes, and then the shares, and we select one person. Can we get up to 70? So if you've not commented yet, you can just type the Fred Effect. We want to get 70 people. We have 68 now. So if we get 70 people, we start with the draw. So if you've not commented, if you've not liked, if you've not shared, do that so that you automatically join in on the draw, and we take it from there. Okay. Still have 68. All right, we can go ahead and then get a draw. Okay. Okay, so congrats to Ernestina Owusu. Ernestina Owusu, so you send us a direct message on Instagram, and then the name is the Fred Effect. If you are done with high school, you need help to study abroad, just send us your WASI results on our Instagram handle. So go to Instagram, search for the Fred Effect, and send us your WASI results. We will let you know if even if you had a D7, E8, F9, it doesn't matter. Just send us your results. If you're interested in applying for a master's, a PhD, all you need to do is to send us your transcript on our Instagram handle. The Fred Effect is a verified account, and then we'll see how best we can support you from there. All right, Merry Christmas to everyone. We hope that next year we will make a couple of changes to the podcast as well, and we see how best we can all support you. Please be positive and know that everything will be fine. Remember, the Fred Effect team has a collaboration with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of ex visa officers. If you are preparing for any category of visa interview, whether being an immigrant or immigrant visa, just schedule a one-on-one session with the Argo Visa team. Use the link I'm sharing on the screen. It's rb.gy/ku72vb, and then you can schedule a meeting with the Argo Visa team. You can schedule a one-on-one conversation with the Fred Effect team if you need private one-on-one conversations. So use the link I'm sharing. It's SELA.co/4GIW, and you can schedule a one-on-one session with the Argo Visa team. Thank you for holding us down throughout the entire year. It's been a great year. It's been a great year of impact, and next year is going to be amazing. So we see you next week, and it will be next year, and we'll have another insightful session single week. Please be positive. Know that everything will be fine. We'll see you next week.